we good? Are we clear?
I think so.
Tonight on the Tangent Room, Chris has a seizure. William doesn't laugh at my shitty jokes. And news. Today and today only.
Don't forget the copyright. We can never forget the copyright.
Oh yeah, under the Fair Use Act, this is all parody. And so we cannot be sued. We love you.
It's all for the bit. Your Honor, it was all for the bit. You weren't even there.
You weren't. Listen, Your Honor, my client plays oopsie daisy. Really, I have news. This is old news, but groundbreaking nonetheless.
All right, shoot.
And this is extremely important for the youngsters, I think, of this generation.
Okay.
The class.
You have arrived, Stephanie.
Yes. Welcome, Stephanie.
Class
war has officially ended.
Details.
With Sony putting its exclusive games on other platforms and Xbox's next generation console confirmed to just be a small scale gaming computer that games will be optimized for, and things like the Steam Deck, the Xbox ROG Ally, which isn't even an Xbox console. It's a handheld built by Microsoft that does it all.
Right.
This, in my opinion, marks the end of the class war known as the console wars. I burped in the middle of that. This ends the class war known as the console wars.
Well, I think a big indication of that was when Halo, which was traditionally Xbox exclusive for how many years, the campaign Evolve is going to be available to PlayStation.
I think that was the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Console wars as a concept. And this is, I think it's important because, like, when we were youngsters,
right,
thousands upon thousands of eons ago, in a land before and Dior, the classroom hierarchy, at least at the school that I went to, was what console do you have at home? And if you were lucky, you could make friends with someone on the other side of the trenches and go to their house and experience a GameCube or an Xbox or a PlayStation. And like what console you had like determined your class hierarchically, because like if your family didn't have a ton of money, you were generations behind, and you had consoles that like some kids had never heard of, or you had like the cheaper of the two, which was usually the case for us.
Right.
Because like, you know, we started with an original PlayStation in the PlayStation 2 era, and we got an Xbox, and then we got a 360 when they were cheapened on sale, and then Matt and I bought a PlayStation 3, and like it wasn't until I became an adult that like I could afford the modern consoles, and then, like when I started PC gaming, that kind of went away because it's like the beauty of PCs is they're upgradable, so
you can, the whole PC master race.
You go. Yeah, my
Hello,
first PC had a 7th generation Intel i7 in it and a 9070. Okay.
Wait, that wasn't the one I bought from you, was it?
No, that one went. I sold that one to my roommate.
Oh, okay.
Before he moved to St. John's, and because he moved across the country, and I sold him my computer and the TV that I had because I wanted to buy a PlayStation 4 Slim and a new TV. That's exactly what I did.
Right.
So he still has the case that I built that original computer in,
but he's upgraded parts.
He didn't upgrade it for about 3 years after I sold it to him.
Jesus.
Because he couldn't afford to. So, like, back to the class war thing. With all of the games being available across the board, the performance and capabilities of them, I think, will get streamlined, and I think the costs will also come down. Or like at the very least, they'll standardize out. So what you'll be buying will be user experience and like flavor, right?
Right.
Be like going to the coffee store, the gas station, and buying a Gatorade. Pick your color. It's like everybody has a favorite color, but generally most people agree they're all pretty good. It's it's nice to see as like an old gamer, because like I don't want to have to buy a console to play a game.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will wait to play a game on PC. Like Sony adding its games to Steam was huge. Like the day that happened, I bought God of War, like the 2018 release of God of War from Santa Monica Studios. I haven't played it again because I've already played it once, so it's a back burner game that I have deep on my list to replay. But being able to, like, as a young kid, if if your parents have a couple extra bucks, most parents now, like, are our generation, so most of them came up playing video games. That's an experience they want to share with their kids as they come of age. Of course, you have to do a body break right now.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna call you out like that.
Everybody knows that I have medical issues, and I really wish that wasn't one of them. But yeah, this is life for me.
Die in the bathroom.
Dude, this is life for me. I hate it, but I guess that's what you get when you had an infected gallstone in your body for 2 years. It does permanent damage. Who would have known? Who would have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it, for real? I don't have enough to like ramble on for however long you think you're gonna be.
No, like not. So, yeah, no, just a couple minutes. You think you can tell one of your stories? Maybe something you haven't told in a while. Maybe a favorite story or something.
One of my stories. Favorite story.
I'm gonna run.
You know what? I've got an idea. Okay, so this is an old story, relatively speaking, about me, very specifically. I've got to remember how the story goes because it has been a minute since I told it. So I play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm the one that got Will into Dungeons and Dragons. Years ago, like literally a couple of years now, I guess it's not that old of a story now I'm thinking about it. I wrote a game based on, well, let's go even further back. The first anime I ever watched was Sword Art Online. Like the first like real anime. The next one was Tokyo Ghoul. Anyways, I thought the idea of SAO was so cool that I was going to write a D&D game about it. Now, I got about as far into writing this game as Kirito got in the beta. Is a deep cut reference. And then I kind of lost interest because I'm not that good. I ain't that guy. Years later, I had this idea again, but I figured this time what I was going to do is, like, when you're trying to get new people into Dungeons and Dragons, the common misconception is that every campaign you play in, you're going to hit the absolute maximum level. You're going to hit level 20. You're going to become like demigods, right? That's never really the case. So my idea was, I'm going to write a game that I'm going to call the Obsidian Vault, which is based off of the software I use for world building. And it's going to house 12 floors that the players will have to go through, and each floor is a test or a challenge that has to be overcome. And the promise at the end of this is that you will be granted power beyond your wildest imagination, which is true because the party hits level 20. Now, my favorite part about this was every floor had a different theme. So if I literally, while I'm talking about this, open it up, the first floor, you go through a labyrinth. The second floor, you fight what's called a wormling. They're basically like the baby version of dragons in this volcano as you cross a chasm. The third floor I based on the Payday video games. So you do a bank heist. The fourth floor is based on BioShock. The fifth floor is just a cool enemy that I had an interesting way to spin the fight for. The sixth floor was based on Warhammer 40,000. and then just rapid firing the rest of them. There was a floor based on Sea of Thieves. There's a floor based on Gears of War, which Will helped me write. There's a floor called Hall of the Mountain King, which is another just cool fight idea that I had. Halo Reach. There's like the 10th floor, you go through like character backstories. So when you write a character, you got to come up with like, when I was a child, I was abandoned in a dark, stormy alley, and that's why I became Batman. Right? So you have to come up with this cool backstory to illustrate your character in the reference of the world. So the 10th floor, we go into the backstories, and I used it to torture Will, which was really fun for me. And then the 11th floor is based on Pacific Rim, and then the final floor is again based on a monster fight that I thought would be really cool to run, which is like a boss monster as the final challenge. And then as part of the reward of the vault, everybody gets they get items that they want. So like it forces new players to look at the reference materials and like, well, this item could be cool for my character, or this item could be cool for my character, and like pick and choose what they want. And as you go through the as you go through the floors, you gain the ability to look at these. I've run this game twice now, and I've got my second group is just about to finish it, but a month ago they finished their backstory floors, which is a floor called Head Games. The idea was it was based on the movie Inception. So the floor takes place in one space, and then you go a layer deeper into the dreams of all of the party members. And as you go deeper and deeper, you learn things about your party members that are really important to who they are as characters. And then you come back and there's one more fight to round it out, and then the floor is done. Sorry, technical difficulties. My headset just turned off. But one of my characters has created a character that everybody else has called Scrappy, who's this little like picture like open your mind's eye, close your eyes, look into your inner self. Picture a 3-foot tall red kobold, which is like a lizard person mixed with a gnome. And they look kind of like dragons, but they're not. That carries a big great axe the size of him and wears a skull on its head, like the Pokemon Cubone. This character's whole thing was he wanted to become a dragon, was obsessed with dragons. The floor where they had to fight dragons, he was like vibrating like the player himself. His whole floor was he was offered the opportunity to become a dragon. And he was like, yeah, I'm super for this. And he was going to say yes. And then he made a roll. And then I had to tell him, I was like, if you take this deal, you lose your character sheet. Your character sheet becomes mine. And this is where the game ends for you. And he was like, okay, my character knows he becomes mindless. And I was like, yes, your character knows he becomes mindless. He goes, my character does not take this deal. And then he got absolutely stomped by a spectral dragon for like 6 rounds of combat. It was the only time I've ever managed to hurt this character. I was like, finally. There is times as a person that runs a Dungeons and Dragons campaign where one must fear their players for the abominations they have created within this world.
Oh, I see Matt got back into his account.
Matt got back into his account. This was one of those times. And then I finally got to beat on him for like half an hour straight of just take this and just laying into him. And that's my fun story about writing a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that's based on SAO, is that eventually I chose a different avenue, but I think I got the better version of like, I didn't blatantly copy an anime that's very popular, and I got something that has like instilled real fear in people, because that's also like the true beauty is, and you can attest to this, when you're playing in Dungeons and Dragons and you realize that like if you mess up, you are in so much trouble. Like this is gonna go so bad for me in this moment. That's always exhilarating.
That actually reminds me, I've been wanting to throw an idea around with you, and what better way to do it than on the podcast for everybody to listen and comment whether they would be interested in seeing that or not. As you know, I helped give you a couple level ideas for your D&D campaign that you run, and I pulled them up quite quickly, actually, literally in the span of, 3 hours? What I am wanting to do after I run a couple, maybe one-shots of the Tales of the Yawning Portal, get used to DMing, I want to start homebrewing my own D&D campaigns based around like video games and stuff like that. Like the first one that comes to mind, I really think it would be funny but also really cool to do a Super Mario themed D&D campaign based in the Feywild.
I wish you the best of luck in that future endeavor. That's really cool. I don't even want to begin to think about the amount of work required for that.
But with me, it would be doable. You know, because like I can think up.
It very well could be.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like this is something I'm willing to undertake. Obviously, it's not going to be done overnight. But I've been thinking about this for a while now. Like, and I mean like the past 4 months because I've had nothing else to do since I've been on disability.
I told you I would pay you to make me maps.
Fuck, you did.
Months ago.
Yeah, you did. You're right.
I was like, hey, if you start making me D&D maps, I will pay you money.
The way I'm gonna do it, which I feel will be really fun and interactive and easy for people on stream to watch, as well as easy for everybody to like use because it's a really nice system. I'm going to get a Foundry account so that I can just invite people to the game and they can play. But yeah, that was kind of one of the first ideas I had. I had another one about like doing a Halo themed campaign, maybe doing a whole D&D campaign around the essence of Reach.
The piece of information I will give you that I've learned is like the most important part about writing D&D games is know how you want the game to end and work backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's easier to add backwards than it is to add in the middle. Like if you're like, okay, I want the game to start in a McTaverns and I want it to end with them killing God.
That's the
going
basis.
A to B on that. It's like, okay, so they start in the fantasy equivalent of McDonald's and then they kill God. They should probably fight a dragon in there, right? Like it's like, so you gotta start coming up with everything that happens in the middle.
Yeah.
If you know, okay, so the setup of the game is that you guys are on Reach, and like whether you go like hit for hit with the game, or if you have your like, or you want to follow kind of like the book's chronology to it,
right?
But like the end of the story is that Reach will fall.
Right, yeah, and like the end battle will be just like an inevitable battle that you are doing for honor.
The knowing how the game ends and knowing whether or not you're okay with your players dying going in.
Right.
And like, because so lots of people, myself kind of included, are afraid of killing player characters because there are some people that won't, like, one, just won't take well to that, and two, like you will genuinely, like, I always feel pretty bad about it when it happens. Whether it's intentional or not doesn't matter. It's a choice you have to make. Narratively, can people die? Like, and the story still continue. In Halo Reach, people die, and the story still continues. That's a big tenet of the story, is you never know who's going to die next.
Well, and
that one time, and George, I no longer love you.
The ideas I had though, to kind of expand upon that, isn't to do like the main story of whatever, like Halo Reach, because that's, I mean, that if we're gonna do that, then people are just gonna look at it and go, well, I'd rather just play Halo Reach then. What I want to do is I want to create D&D campaigns around those settings and aesthetics. So maybe like you're one of the side team ODSTs that is doing a background mission throughout the whole game, trying to help you with maybe information or something, and
Yeah.
like stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
stuff like that's always cool. Writing, um, something that a friend of mine tried to do, and I I remember helping him write a large chunk of it, was he wanted to write a game that took place in like a world war
okay,
where it was like our side versus their side.
right,
And but he wanted to run like two, like the idea was that like your party are special forces,
uh huh,
which was made hilarious by the fact that not only were we like the weakest people there,
right,
but um like we started at level 1, which didn't make any sense given the setting of the game. Like you, if you want to declare somebody as like special forces is one thing. What he actually had us be was the Suicide Squad, and he
right,
just
right,
wouldn't admit it.
right,
But he wanted the idea of the game was that this campaign can have two parties play simultaneously
uh huh,
and do different things, and their actions will benefit or hinder the other party. So
ah,
I helped him write about 15 encounters for the first book, and I gave him like, okay, if these are the conditions, this is the outcome. This is how it affects this group, and this is how it affects this group. If they hit this condition instead,
mm-hmm,
this is, and like you can change the outcomes of each thing. So like a game like that would be cool, especially given like the reach perspective, because you can
yeah,
follow the game story beats and look at how that would affect the mission going forward.
mm-hmm,
Because then it's like your ODSTs, so you're getting some information
right,
about what's going on like the front line
yeah.
and how that's going to affect you in the next mission, as it were.
Well, and
And you can
that
play on that pretty well.
that or what about the other side of Reach's story that we never see for the most part? What if the team I was running in this D&D campaign were on the Covenant side, you know?
Yeah, you could do that too. Um, be be cautious with games that rely on homebrew. Homebrewing a game is fine. Like you can make up monsters and make up places and like design a world that fits your game.
Right.
If you start running a game where you like have to build the races and balance and spec races,
Mm-hmm.
um, it gets very difficult for people to track that. Even experienced players have issues. Like I once my Sunday game is done next weekend,
Right.
not this one coming up, but the one after, end of this
Yeah,
month, I
yeah.
will no longer be running a Sunday game. Um, once that's done, we're playing a borrower style game.
Okay.
The guy that's running that made a race based on the borrowers, and he did it as simply as possible. It's still very complicated, and
Yeah.
it's not because he made it that way. It's complicated because most softwares you use for tracking character sheets
Mm-hmm.
can't compensate for that.
Right.
It doesn't work. um Matt, you should just start writing D&D stuff.
I think all three
For
of
me,
us should get together and write like a big story, because I think we could come.
hey,
Honestly, if all three of us were to get
I
together,
have a
you know what?
prime candidate. I have a Spelljammer game that I've been working on for 2 years.
So
We
here,
could do a think tank on this.
here's the thought: if all three of us got together and
Because
started compiling ideas, you know what we could make for a very intricate, but also play it so that it's simple yet fun D&D campaign. We could make a fucking Paragon Renegade Mass Effect campaign. we
Dude, what
could
do you think my Spelljammer game is? Just
fair.
without aliens.
We could be
It's
we
like
could be an N7 team that was running under the, instead of the first unit, like the first fleet, we could be running under the fifth fleet. Maybe we could be. What I think would be cool
I like
is if
how
we were a unit
can we
running
talk
under
about how
Shepard's mom.
The start of this writing session would be us holding Matt at gunpoint so he plays the Mass Effect games.
Oh fuck, that's right.
So he has a genuine understanding of the world.
Oh no, Matt.
I guess the other angle that I hadn't really thought of is something that you can do as a workaround. Like if you're like, okay, because like I've stated, building your own races gets tricky in a hurry.
Right.
But if you can go kind of like the easier route and you can come up with reflavors and limit races instead.
Yeah.
So you come up with races that are better at certain things or best fit the bill of what you have in your head. So like an elite would be most accurately realistically a human.
Yeah.
What would be like the human equivalent, or
Yeah.
a Goliath. Brutes would be closest to bugbears.
Yeah.
Grunts would be gnomes. Jackals would be halflings.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the
Stuff like
spells that are typically in D&D, we
altering
could
for
just
that.
rename to, you know, fitting attacks in
Yeah.
Halo.
I've done that. It takes a lot of load off because like there is a mental load with writing the game. That mental load is tripled once you are running the game because not only do you have to remember everything you created beforehand, or at the very least have it easily accessible as information you know.
Yeah.
But remembering all of those things and then putting them into action while you're running it that's the hard part. Like
Yeah,
Obsidian Vault game, which is what I told the story of.
Right. Well, like Matt just said, he could build the Renegade Paragon systems and possibly some script. Like, you know, just all three of us brain... Because weirdly enough, the more I've thought about it, especially after you took me and we got the Tales of the Yawning Portal DM book, I, more so than playing, I would like to DM games because I feel like I would get much more fun out of it being able to not direct the chaos, but watch it unfold and take part of it as kind of like, hey, this is what's going to happen now because of your choices, and it's going to be funny as shit. But also, more so than DMing, I have a very like urgent want and like obsession to create these settings and watch people play them and get enjoyment out of it.
Just for your viewing pleasure on this, I'm gonna pull up my Obsidian Vault file.
Okay.
My world is currently written in. Go to the node map, and I'm gonna show you what I have. So I'm gonna move this so it's over the Spelljammer stuff. Okay. So this, if you're, I hit the wrong button. Oh man. Of course I hit the wrong button. Okay. So that's all done now.
Did you find the right button?
Yep.
Okay, good.
It's still doing stuff because it's populating the newest stuff. Okay, what's on my screen right now? This is the basis.
Oh, right. You're right. You're streaming on Discord. I was like, what are you doing? I see your face. That's okay.
So the Spelljammer game, yeah, the concept was there are 12 planets and 8 space-based things.
Right.
Plus a couple of potential starts.
Right.
This would fit kind of your ideal. This is the level of information you would have to have going in.
Right.
I have a couple things. Jesus, every time I do that, it's going to throw me for a loop. I have a couple things that are ready. I have like a planet that my buddy wrote for me. Right. So this is all of the stuff in here. And the idea of this game was that you're explorers.
Oh. Right. You're kind of like Pathfinders.
kind of like Pathfinders. The idea being almost identical to how Andromeda does it. This is my Inquisitor game. Hold on, where did it go? That's the Ascenders, Obsidian Vault floors. So yeah, some of these are based on like Archive in Between or like Star Wars. So like you can guess what this specific node is a reference to.
The relay. Gee, I wonder.
I wonder. This is a reference. This is a reference.
Yep.
This is a reference.
Uh-huh.
So like, in this specific one, this is the biggest reference, and this is the last planet of the game.
Right, and when you click on each of them, it has a bunch of stuff on what, could happen and what you're trying to do on that specific planet.
The grayed out ones are ones that I haven't even started filling out. The rest are ones that I have opened and like started writing in.
Okay, so gray ones are unfinished essentially.
Are unfinished, and honestly, some of the ones that aren't gray are also unfinished because I'm just not that good.
Oh, dude, I would. Why didn't you show me this sooner? I would have happily sat down and written a bunch of shit for you so that we could do this. I did. Okay? No, you told me about it. You told me about this, but you didn't show me the node system. That's really cool.
So.
And what do you use that node system on?
So.
Oh, also thank you, Matt. Yes.
It's an application called Obsidian. So Obsidian is a world building app. It's nice because you
Obsidian
can
notes
together. Yeah, it should
sharpen your thinking.
The icon for it should be like a chunk of obsidian.
Yeah, almost like purple amethyst colored.
Yep.
Okay.
So every time you create a text folder, it appears as a node, and then you can tie them together. So like
I'm gonna download that, and I'm gonna start putting together the Mario Party one, because I feel like that would be, again, not only fucking hilarious to have like a Mario Party, because the Mario Party one essentially is gonna be as if you're like on a wild trip in the Feywild, right? But at the same time, I can also add in a bunch of shit. Like, you would still be playing normal characters because there's no premise for the Mario Party, games saying that you couldn't.
Me out because they didn't know the difference between lemons and lemon juice.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitsy, we're gonna have to kick you out if we don't know the difference between lemons and lemon juice.
So, what I was thinking is you can play normal characters. I will just alter stats for like Goombas or Thwomps.
Well, like
stuff like that.
Homebrewing up enemies is easy.
Yeah,
because that's less bearing to the player themselves.
Honestly, the only thing I was missing that I didn't have until now, thank you for Obsidian Notes, was a system to really lay out all my notes in an organized fashion of like, hey, this is how the story could go, and this is what can happen, and anything else that happens from there we can ad-lib on the way because it'll be funny. If they decide, hey, we want to take over this castle, well, okay, now we're taking over this castle, let's see how funny this gets.
It's funny because like the game that the Friday Night group is currently playing isn't even in here.
Wow.
I wrote that as a Google Doc. That's its own thing. that isn't even to mean that it isn't a part of this. It's one of those, like, technically you guys are in here, but like the campaign notes themselves for the story are not. So there is, like, because I'm bad at taking notes as a DM, which is really important.
Right.
I lack the background information. So I run that game from a Google Doc in my Google Drive at all times.
Okay.
That makes it very difficult to do. We also have that game to like finish writing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have a pretty funny idea for like how I'm gonna get to the end now. Because they did the Witchlight Carnival stuff.
Yeah.
And they helped the one guy reunite with his girlfriend.
That's something else that I feel like would really help me.
I'm going to send the party an invitation to their wedding, and that's how I'm going to get them to go to the capital before I unravel the world in front of them.
Nice.
Um, so there will be a ball scene, which is something that I'd seen. I saw TikTok about it. Is like, why don't more DMs use like significant cultural events as story beats for their games? And it was like the ball or like the King's Banquet.
Hmm.
And I was like, that's a good point, actually, because I'd been struggling with how to get the party from where they are to where I want this game to kind of conclude.
Yeah.
And then they did that in the Witchlight Carnival, and I was like, oh, that's what I'm gonna do. Hell yeah.
Hmm.
So Byron, when you're listening to this later, if you ever bring that up, I will kill your character a third time. Um, but yeah, so like rules of engagement as a DM I think are important, and then like homebrew to the level with which you're gonna be like, it's one of those things where once you start running games, you're gonna learn very quickly kind of like where you're gonna be, like where you're like not your limits, but like where you're gonna be most comfortable.
Right,
Like
right, right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm I'm very fast and loose. Everything I need that's very serious, I have preset. Like it's all laid out already. The fight that they did on Friday night against like 6 dragons, um, I had that encounter built already. I do wish I'd had a map for it, but like I didn't need a map for it because I confined the area enough that the map was irrelevant. Um, like there's ways to get around certain things, and like when you're building a game and building out the path it follows, I always do maps last because if you don't have a map, it's not the end of the world. Um, it's better to have a story that coheres A to B than, in my opinion, than like all of the resources. Like it doesn't have to be a module; it just has to be a story.
Right.
And having like decent players to help you fill in the gaps helps with that a lot. I find that's like the bit that I've always found the most important is like if your players are uninterested or aren't giving like something my Sunday game does that I like a lot is when we're playing you have to have a webcam on. And like I
Oh.
remember talking, so we did our session 0 a month before the first session, and it was before I bought this webcam. And my DM Brian was like, okay, you have to um I like the house rule that I've had is because we play exclusively online, you have to have your webcams on because I want to see that you're paying attention. So if
Right.
I'm talking to you, or if I go to talk to you and I can see your like heads down on your chest and you're out cold, I'm gonna yell at you a couple times. And if you're still out cold, I'm just gonna gloss over you.
Right.
And that like, you know, and we'll talk about it after. Um, like you're gonna go to the principal's office, but I need to know why you're going to the principal's office. And I was like, that's fair. When I when I run games, I leave my webcam on so people can see me. So if they're talking to me and I'm not answering, and I'm over here looking at this and like scribbling notes on something, they're like, yeah, so Chris, I'm gonna do the thing, and I'm still just hurriedly writing stuff on my whiteboard. Like he's not paying attention right now. Or
Right.
if I'm looking at my main monitor and I'm like, how the fuck do I make this work? And somebody says something and I miss it, and it's like I'm blatantly not paying attention to what's like the conversation being had.
Yeah.
It's visible. Um, I also know people that will not run an online game for that reason. It has to be in person
That's
because
fair.
that way you have to commit yourself for the time allotted.
Hmm.
Um, and then like, but yeah, it's just one of those things I think where like once you've run a couple things, you'll get the feel for it, and once you've got the feel for it, you'll know where you're gonna do where your strengths and weaknesses are, because like you'll figure your weaknesses out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just tell you, they're like, yeah, it wasn't, that was weird, and I wish you hadn't done that, and you're like, ah, okay, we'll never do that again, thank you for informing me. or
Well,
like could it have been better, and then they hit you with the not really, like it just wasn't good. I'm like, all right, cool.
well, and that's the whole essence of trial and error, right? Because like going into this, you don't know what they are and aren't gonna like, so you got to test out some different things.
Also, I like how we lost. I've been like every once in a while I like pan over to see who the current viewers are. We lost Mike, and I wanted to talk about a thing pretty exclusively for Mike.
Wait, Dad was here?
Dad, yeah, he popped in for a second and then he vanished again.
He didn't.
But like viewer, normally he says something, and
Yeah.
so I don't know what that was about.
Who knows? I know a
So
lot.
Mike,
I know.
um,
I know a lot of times if what we're talking about isn't like of super interest to him, he goes and does something else for a little while and then comes back.
well, he popped in and I noticed it while I was in the middle of my Dungeons and Dragons story, so that probably would have done it for him. He would have been
That's
like,
yeah.
"This sucks,"
He's
and moved on.
never he's never played D&D. He knows of it, but he's
I
never
never
played it.
I never said it was a good story. It was just a story. I had to fill for time. Chat, back me up. It's not my fault. He started the stream and was like, I have to go bathroom now.
Look, I wish I could control it. I really do.
It, man.
I'm not even gonna deny it.
So that's that's kind of my opinions on D&D. I would be
Yeah.
down to sit down with you and Matt and like workshop stuff because I have lots of D&D stuff that I have to finish. I would really like to run the Spelljammer game.
Right.
The Spelljammer game, I don't even think I'm going to run in 5th edition, to be very honest. I think it's going to be D20 or DC20.
Fair.
Um,
Well, the other thing
we
I
do
kind of
something
want
like
to
that. That
do
would be
just
cool too.
because I liked the system almost more than D&D is a lot of these games when I get Foundry, I might set them up with the rules of Pathfinder. Because Pathfinder I just found a lot easier and nicer to understand.
You should read the playtest rulebook for DC20, and then you'll be on the same page as me with it as a system. Like I promise you, I would never be able to do a verbal description and breakdown of it without it being extremely complicated because I'm not great at explaining things. But
Wait, like, where are you going with this?
Mechanical rules, I'm bad at explaining them. But like the way it's set up, I think is actually very good. And the progression system innate to it is very easy for even a new player to follow. Like everything is done in that Pathfinder style, but it's much simpler than Pathfinder.
Okay.
Much simpler.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely take a look at that.
It's a fun mix between I think 5th edition and Pathfinder.
Right.
With its own like offshoot combat system that I prefer.
Yeah.
It uses action and stamina points, which I think Pathfinder also does, but it lets you use them in a different way. So it's like you can hit somebody with a sword. And then you can burn a second action point to use that sword's greater effect.
Right.
And impose rolls. It gets rid of the weapon mastery thing, which honestly isn't that great. So there's some cool stuff with it that I think works pretty good. I'm trying to remember what else we were going to talk about. But anyways, the class war is over. It's like the console war is done. It's dead.
Yeah.
And I would love to talk to you about
what
I know
you
think about the Game Awards
on November 12th.
Console war ending.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of this, like a big part of what sparked all of this was like October 10th, GameStop, among others, made a kind of like forewarned post that the console wars is coming to an end. And then November 12th, funny enough, Xbox came out. Well, not Xbox, but Microsoft came out and said that they inevitably lost the console war. Like, the PS5 has now outsold every other console out there from every generation at 84.2 million as of November 12th.
Yeah, it's it's funny how that happens too, because like I think from all accounts, Microsoft was primed to win this generation,
Yeah.
and the Series X and Series S, like one didn't do very well to begin with,
No.
but like Microsoft doesn't have exclusives anymore.
No, they don't.
It it gave up on them.
Yeah.
It didn't give up on them, but like with Game Pass as a business model, they heel turned from like flagship exclusive games,
Yeah.
and they were like, what if we did a platform where everything is available?
Hmm.
And that's actually, I think, better because one, if you buy a game on the Xbox store, you can like on an Xbox, if you later build a PC, that game transfers over because of Xbox's anywhere. Yeah, it was a weird system. Like the buzzword was buy everywhere or buy anywhere when it first launched.
Hmm.
You buy you buy a game on your Xbox, and then if you built a PC a year later, you could play it on your PC through the Xbox app. Great system. If you bought a game on your PC, as long as it had that buy anywhere tag, if you sold your PC because your life changed, you can't you don't have the facility to support a PC anymore, or you don't have the need of a computer.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I'm just going to buy a TV and put an Xbox on it.
Hmm.
Those games all transfer over. Um, Whereas like PlayStation and Sony have very much so stuck to their guns, which I think hurts more than it helps, but at the same time forces people to buy PlayStations.
It's it,
Like
it's a
I
movement
would
of
love to
integrity.
play I would love to play like any of the PlayStation Studios games. They have 27 games that are currently available on Steam that are PlayStation Studios. So they were originally meant to be, or they were originally PlayStation exclusives.
Right.
Um, so that's games like Days Gone, God of War, Spider-Man, Uncharted, Little Big Planet, like
Oh, wait,
Sackboy's A
wait, wait,
Big
wait, wait, wait.
Adventure.
Uncharted's on Steam now?
Yeah, the Legacy of Thieves collection,
Oh, okay, I
which
am hands down
is
putting that on my wish list because that is one of my longtime favorite series that I would love to stream.
so that's Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. Very specifically,
Oh, okay.
I do think all of them are supposed to be on here. I'm just not seeing them.
No,
But
the
Spider-Man
first
and Miles
couple,
Morales,
aren't available.
the first three are not,
No, and
unfortunately.
those are the ones I
Um,
want.
Returnal, which was a PlayStation
Right?
4
Uh-huh.
launch title, or PlayStation 5 launch title, sorry. The Last of Us, Ratchet and Clank, Helldivers 2, which was like hilariously kiboshed as a Sony exclusive because everybody review bombed it when they were like, well, you have to have a PlayStation account to
Yeah.
play Helldivers. And then everyone was like, no. Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, and God of War Ragnarok, Until Dawn, Horizon Zero Dawn, um, Spider-Man 2, Last of Us Part 2, Stellar Blade was supposed to be a PlayStation exclusive, launched on Steam.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
Lots of people
Fred was really into
really
that
enjoyed
game. I
stuff.
think he's played through it like 3 times now.
Apparently, it's very good. So
I've heard
like
that too. I've heard mixed things about it. Like I've heard a lot of people say
there
it's a Souls like, and then Fred was like, "No, this is a hack and slash."
there's lots of games that they are putting on Steam, but I personally don't believe it's enough. Like I think they should be putting all of their games on Steam.
Right.
I do lots of them though, it's a time thing. They're trying to protect their consoles sovereignty while also allowing other people to play their games. So like Ragnarok, it was a year and a half before it came to Steam,
Right. Yeah.
or 2 years before it came to Steam. That's totally fair. I get that.
Right.
But then there's others like I have lots of friends that do sim racing that would love to play Gran Turismo 7 on their computers.
But
It's not out.
yeah.
GT7's been out for like 6 years, 5 years now, something like that. So the Final Fantasy games also have started coming to Steam. 15 came forever ago. 16 is on Steam now, which I've been I actually haven't played a bunch of that since we last talked about it.
Right.
Um,
Well, yeah,
but like they
you've been
are
kind of putting the rush on
slowly.
Andromeda, and I'm actually going
I've
to be doing a lot more of
I've
that
been
with
trying
my
to
late
keep pace
nights.
with you, but you are just like I just had more time to play it than
Yeah.
you have played on stream. So
Well, what I'm going to be doing off stream, like I said last Saturday, like
all the side quests.
yeah, after I'm done here, now that I know that the side quests are not the same as how they were founded in the first three games, where they actually mattered to the outcome of the main story. Other than a select few in Andromeda, they're all purely just like resource collection or some mundane like
It's
viability
well, like
quest.
it's all yeah. The whole game factors around Andromeda viability points with
Yeah,
Andromeda. So every side quest will net you those points in some way or another.
right. And it's just a matter of if it's
It's
one like
they're only relevant to the story until your planet's viability hits 100%.
right.
You know what I mean? So like if you do this, if you do the main story of a planet, you'll get it to, I think it's 70%
Yeah, it
or
automatically
60% is
bumps
what it's
it.
supposed to
Yeah,
hit you at, which is the marker you need for the colony.
right.
The colony's a 10% bump. And then after that, it's side quests. And
Yeah,
that's how you wrap the planet. So with the exception of Havarl, which is the planet you went to,
right.
um, like Havarl is pretty purely do the side quests.
Yeah,
So I would do that planet in its entirety, and then with Vold I would switch. I would do the main story stuff, so open the vault, do the main story stuff, get that done. I would actually go for the vault first and then do the story stuff just because it's funnier. Um, and then find your outpost and go to the next planet, and then off stream go back and do side quest stuff for your 100%.
yeah. What I'm
Because
gonna
it
do.
didn't take me long to 100% that planet.
Right. Well, honestly, brutally honest, what I'm gonna do after we're done here, depending on what you or Matt are doing, because I know Matt said he was gonna be on for a while. Um, if he's gonna keep playing, uh, what was it called? Obscure, the 33
Extra
expedition. Yeah.
lives.
Um, if he's gonna keep
He
doing that, because I messaged him last night and I waited for about 5 hours and the fucker never answered me.
he
Uh,
also messaged me yesterday. We could talk about that for a minute. So yesterday I got home from work and I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just visiting with my roommate and we were talking about something and then she was playing Risk of Rain 2, so I started playing Risk of Rain 2. I got a message from a buddy to play Tarkov and I was like, I'm not playing Tarkov. So I literally I saw that, I R&R'd him and just launched Risk of Rain 2.
you
And I
are
played
not
that to like 8.
you are not the only player I've seen recently that has just said like screw Tarkov.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, but yes,
I
continue.
would like to get someone who's bigger into extraction shooters before we do that. So whether I think we bring Matt back and we get Special Hug Time back because he's big
Yeah,
into stuff.
yeah, I'd be down for that.
So I'll message him maybe tomorrow while I'm on the road and see what he thinks about that. But so I played Risk of Rain 2 and then the free to play game that I was waiting to download,
Where Wings
which
Meet.
I actually would like to recommend you
Yeah, I've
because it
been
was
paying
very
attention
good.
to that. I wanted to see what you thought of it because I've been wanting to play it.
So you and I read manhwa and
Yeah,
manga.
yeah.
Are you familiar with the genre of mangas and manhwas called wuxia? Wuxia?
Yeah,
Wuxia?
actually, Wusha. Yeah,
Wuxia?
yeah,
It is so Where Winds Meet is a
right.
free-to-play MMORPG that's setting is in Wuxia.
Oh, okay,
Like that's the general
kind of like
that's how
Naraka
the
Blade
power
Point.
system works.
Okay.
Yes. It's so the setting is Chinese. It
Yep.
follows pretty heavily with like the idea of cultivation
Mm-hmm.
and martial arts,
Oh,
mystic
yeah.
arts.
You had me at that.
So
I'm downloading it.
it's I enjoyed it. I played just about 2 hours last night before I went to bed. It's it's an MMO.
Right.
I will warn you up front. So it like I haven't hit it yet, but eventually it will have that point that they all have where it's like, hey, you got to grind. I haven't hit that yet. I
Right.
played through most of the first act in 2 hours.
Nice.
Things that the game does, and this is a revelation I had. Hot take: I don't like MMOs. Here's the thing. So the game lets you, when you set up your stuff, your character, like before you even set up your character, it lets you choose whether or not you want a multiplayer driven experience or a single player driven experience. Meaning whether or not you are flooded with all of the people in the overworld.
Right.
And like whether or not that's a relevant thing at all times. There are spots where like there will be people, kind of like digital extremes of Warframe and Soulframe. Like there's areas where you'll see lots of people.
Are there options
but the rest
though
of the
where
game,
if you choose single player experience, you can
you
still
can play
play
it.
with
You
a
can
friend?
play it with friends.
Okay.
Yes. So the single player driven experience allows for co-op. The multiplayer experience does the same. It's just you see more people all the time.
Right.
And
is
then
it
the
is
other
it
thing I
like a
liked,
free for all kind of thing? You run into other people, they immediately want to fight you, or is it?
I honestly I don't know because I didn't click
You
that option.
you chose the
You would
single
have to
player.
do that research. I chose single player for sure.
Smart.
The next option that game gives you
Right.
is how you want your control style.
Ah.
So you can either, this was my favorite part. You could either have it control like an ARPG, like an action role playing game,
Right.
or like an MMO.
Oh.
So meaning your mouse controls camera perspective, or your mouse controls
your
where your
character.
character is.
Ah.
And then all of your abilities, like your binding for everything changes. It changes the control scheme completely.
Interesting.
So I have the game set up to play like an ARPG. I control my character, and it's single player focused. It also allows you to change the difficulty for the scripted story stuff. So you can, and like what that seems to do as far as I've discovered so far is it changes how you have to approach things. Gear score and like MMO things like that still matter.
Right.
But if it's scripted part of the story, it will become either easier or harder depending on what you pick. I don't know if the resource dole out changes. I doubt it. I think that's probably a scripted thing that the game has set in stone. Like you finish this bit and you get 2 jade stones and 500 coins and some experience and these other like crafting items. So I liked it because it let me do that, and then like you go through the game and there's an opening mission thing that you have to do, and then you create your character and then you play as that character.
Right.
And you the person you play as in the prologue when you start as your character, you're trying to figure out where he went. So he vanished a while ago. He went off on like a thing. Right. And you have to figure out where he is.
Okay.
That's like the impetus of the story.
Right.
Which I thought was an interesting setup. And then it like you go through it, it's like here's all the sects and what's cool about them. And the game, you can pick up different weapons and use all of them. Like not at the same time. You pick 2 and then you have a bow.
Right.
But it shows you like what the role for that weapon is.
Yeah.
And then like if you find like a skill book, you can learn the martial arts based around that weapon and increase like how that weapon plays. So like I found 2 for the spear. It lets you pick one as a side quest, so I chose the twin blades. And then like you
that would be nice. Yeah.
But like there's a fan, an umbrella, a glaive. What else was there? I wish I had a better memory. But there's like a bunch of different weapons you can pick, and they each have different like MMO styled roles. So like twin blades are DPS.
Right.
The long sword and like the glaives are tank. The fan and the umbrella are support. and that like that changes how the game plays for you. So I built as a DPS because the game has like a skill component for parrying
Oh,
and
yeah,
dodging.
yeah.
So I was like, well, if I can just dodge, then I'll be fine.
Hmm.
There's some skill involved in that. But the gameplay loop reminds me a lot of Black Desert, which is also an MMO
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
made by a Korean development studio.
I played Black Desert Online when I
I
was
love BDO.
actually on surgery recovery a couple years ago from my gallstone. Actually, I really enjoyed playing World of Warcraft. Still do, as everybody who knows me knows. I'm a big WoW player, and I couldn't play on my computer obviously because I was stuck on the couch recovering because I had 5 holes in my
The
stomach. So I went on Game Pass and I was like, well, there's got to be a game that's similar, you know. So I typed into MMOs, and Black Desert was the first one that showed up, and I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to test it, and I actually saw a review by I Am Wildcat at the time, and I really enjoy like Tyler's content, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So I downloaded it, started playing it, and I was like, you know, I'm really into this. But then Game Pass became
the
too expensive.
Yeah, I also canceled Game Pass when they upped their prices. I liked Black Desert because it played like a true MMO in the
Yeah,
style that like you don't necessarily have to do the story to it at any point. I also
right.
really liked the combat style of it. So I think that's where Winds Meet and I got along really well,
That
is
makes
that
sense.
it plays very similar and gives you that same level of like versatility.
Right. And well,
Now,
like for me, I'm
my
a big exploration guy.
my
I love
roommate and I
open
had the
open world.
conversation about this. Yeah. And it has a nice big open world that you can explore completely at will.
Yeah.
There's like leveling and stuff to it. So if you go to the wrong area too soon, or like there's certain things in the starting area that are just meant to be too hard for you to do,
Right. Like you
um,
have to come back and do it.
you have to come back and do it. It's not like a Souls-like game where it's like I saw it bleed, it will die.
No, no,
Um,
it's yeah, it's very much like World of Warcraft in that
it's an
sense where
MMO. Yeah.
yeah, like you know, I
Like
know in World of
this
Warcraft,
scripted event
yeah.
this scripted event is level 15 and you're level 2.
Yeah.
So you should go and do stuff and then come back to this.
Well, exactly. That's
And
how they
the
have it
game
set
will
up
inform
in
you of that.
that's how they have it set up in World of Warcraft too, because like you come straight out of as a human, you know, race, you come straight out of that temple area where you do your first couple missions to get to like level 5, and then you go out to Goldshire, the little town just outside of it, and the field just past it is full of like level 25 and above creatures, and they're like, you can go there if you want, but you're gonna die because this mission we're telling you to go to is in the area past that. It's like, great,
Yeah.
thanks.
So
Hey, rookie.
it's I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was actually like it was genuinely a lot of fun. It's something that I'm gonna go back to a little bit more in the future. I want to finish Andromeda first because we're talking about everything all at once, brother. We talked about D&D for a while.
Yep.
We're gonna talk about the Game Awards in a
Well,
bit.
hey,
We
and
talked about
actually,
console wars over.
yeah, now that rookie's here, I want to see what his thoughts are on it. We talked about how I want to start creating with Chris and possibly his brother Matt. I want to start creating D&D campaigns based around like video games, movies, fictional media that we enjoy. Like the first one I've already kind of started putting together is a Mario Party based D&D campaign. I feel like that would be really fun because there's a lot of chaos to be had there. But I feel like
Mhm.
that one would probably be best set up as like a one shot. Maybe do that over the course of like 3 or 4 sessions, kind of thing. Nothing major.
Fallout would be a good one,
Yeah,
actually. That's a
yeah,
valid point.
yeah,
There's lots of games that like provide good worlds
yeah,
for exploring.
yeah, exactly. And then you can
Um,
just create your story kind of based off of that world. You know, it doesn't have to be the
um,
story of the game.
my the first game I played in with my Sunday DM Happiness, which is his actual title. He used to be a host for Battleground of the Gods, which is a Smite podcast. But the first game I played in that he ran, we played in a world called Avistrad, and we talked about it a lot before we started. Um, and he confirmed that like the biggest inspiration point for how he decided how like the magic of his world worked was Final Fantasy, because
Ah,
Final Fantasy allows for a lot of really interesting concepts with the crystals.
right.
Because lots of Final Fantasy, like the occupants of the world can't influence uh like Aether, which is Final Fantasy's magic.
Right.
So in his world, gods are uh they reside in astrolite,
Uh-huh.
and magic is conducted through aetherite. So aetherite crystals can be found, and they have affinities for certain things. Some of them are strong enough to house spells. The rest of them are like programmable batteries, was how he explained it. He was like, you can influence the aether in an aether crystal to generate a spell, and that's how magic is cast.
Hmm.
It's not like a spell slot, it's just the mechanic for which spells are channeled.
Right,
um,
right, right.
which is cool. And then like paladins and clerics gain their powers from astrolite, which is like in Final Fantasy would be like the mother crystals, which are the crystals that house the icons,
Right.
or the archons, depending on which one you've played.
I
Um,
the only Final Fantasy I've played is 14.
yeah, so it would be icons,
Yeah.
EIKON. I think that's pretty standard across the lore now I'm thinking about it.
And to be specific,
Um,
I have 19.7 hours, so not a lot.
that's,
It's been over 2 years
yeah,
since I played
honestly
it. Jesus.
understandable. I
Last,
think
the
I've
last time I
played
played it was March 6th,
total.
2023.
You know what? I picked up 14 to try it because, like, with A Realm Reborn, you could play all of the base story
Right.
for free
Yeah.
without a paid subscription. So, and then, like, that would have been when they added Endwalker,
Yep.
or yeah, Endwalker. So I jumped in to try it, and I made it. Like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of MMOs. So I made it probably about 3 hours into the game, and I uninstalled it. I was just like, this isn't for me.
Honestly, I
Um,
tried playing 14 by myself, and I just didn't enjoy it as much as when I was playing with like Fred and Zach and all of them, because they all are big 14 players. Um, I really enjoy World of Warcraft myself when it comes to MMOs, and I know the free to play aspect for World of Warcraft is not as good as 14. I will admit that it is kind of limited. You are able to play to level 20, and you like all the content is there, but the problem is that the content for World of Warcraft is level based. So you're only allowed to
yeah.
go up to level 20, and then it's like, "Hey, here's the paywall. Pay to keep going if you liked it." So what I
Here's
did
a
was I
fun.
convinced Biggles to download it, and he was like level 8, and I have a level 80 warlock, and so I took him down into the dungeon in like the stockade in Stormwind City, the dungeon,
Yeah.
and that's like a level 40 dungeon. I watched him almost get one tapped, and I sent my minion to help him, and my minion, all he did was throw out a rage yell because it's a Voidwalker, and deleted everything within like a 10-mile radius. And Biggles was like, "Oh,
Yeah. Here's a question that I think you would be uniquely positioned to answer. Do you think MMOs will have to change how they function based on the paywall system?
oh yeah." I mean, look at
Do
World
you
of
think the
Warcraft.
paid
It's
subscription for
already
an
had to
MMO will die?
change. Like
But like, I mean, like die completely and become something new.
I
And
think
not
so. Yeah.
Destiny, because I think Destiny is the wrong answer. The
No,
way
no.
Destiny is good, like the first
Bungie
one was
is
really good.
Bungie has fucked up so many things though since then, that company, I don't know how it's even still around, but I don't think it matters what they do at this point. Nobody wants anything to do with them anymore. Um,
Because
prime
I think
example, they are grasping at straws,
it's
and they just did an update to incorporate a bunch of Star Wars shit into it, and it did nothing to help their player count. It just, their player count keeps dropping.
yeah, this is like the 18th time Destiny 2 has died in its life cycle. I think
Yeah.
the problem is that there isn't, you know what, I say this, but it's almost inherently untrue. I think there isn't enough people at this point who are willing to keep paying for it.
Right, and
Like
that's the problem.
there's MMOs that exist where you don't have to pay them every month for the MMO to be good
And that's what people
or
are
to
moving on.
experience it all.
Right, and that's what people are moving on to, because especially since like World of Warcraft used to be pretty cut and dry, where it was, you were paying like $8 a month, or you could pay like $20 and you could have 100 hours worth of playtime in the game with like no restrictions. And when a new DLC came out, you'd go to like high tech game traders, pick up the disc for like $15, and you download it. Right, it's pretty easy and simple. Now they want you to buy each expansion for like $90, as well as charging almost 22 a month now. On top of that, there's a bunch of other paywalls, like, hey, if you want extra slots in your backpack for storage, because they halved the storage in the backpack when you start a game now, you don't get a 32 slot inventory anymore. You get a 16 slot. And it's like, thanks for nothing, Blizzard. And they tell you, hey, if you want that full 32 slot, even though you just paid hundreds of dollars for all of this stuff to play our game, that's another, $30 on your Blizzard account to, get back that 32 slots. It's like, fuck off.
So our Wayfarer is on an adventure again. I can see that Rookie is currently in the movie Magic chat. And I hate to inform you, bud, but the guy who streams the movies is currently in here with me.
Do you know why? Because he usually hangs out in the chill cave while we're in the streamer bay, but we stayed in the chill cave. We stayed in his area.
I'm sorry, bud. I thought we moved. I can't believe we didn't. I feel like if we move now, we just break the stream.
No, I can fix that. There we go.
Okay. Did we break anything? Oh god, we broke it all. It's also broken.
No, it came back.
It's also broken. Oh, we're back.
Yep.
Hell yeah. See, we're good at this.
I think you're watching the stream a little bit behind.
Transitions. Yeah, so Twitch and YouTube have different stream delays, fun fact.
Yeah, no, I know.
I was watching, and I watched this on YouTube, we went black, and then on Twitch, we went black, and then it started sputtering back and forth on YouTube, and then doing the same thing on Twitch, and now we're back. We're so fucking back, chat.
Yeah, see, welcome, Rookie. Now Rookie's comfortable in his cave.
We didn't mean to forcefully rehome you. But
Rents do get the fuck out.
Like, Steph made a good point. MMOs are hard to keep people engaged with. This is kind of like the beauty of like the lack of an attention span that most people have now. Is that like, unless you adore the source material or like just the concept of doing, we were like Andromeda, all of its side quests are like fetch quests, right?
Yeah.
That's not entertaining.
No, it's not. To
most people.
That's a big problem.
It's hard to keep people engaged on that. So how long will it be until those MMOs that are paid services eventually die completely? Like, I think Final Fantasy has a leg to stand on because it made the core story free. And I think they have a plan that's like after a certain number of years, the next expansion will become free. So the free players will eventually get to experience it all. The problem is that if they didn't pay for it after they completed the base game, they're probably not going back to it.
Right.
With World of Warcraft, you're so much
more. I know you hate it, but damn.
And there's so much less to do. And like, listen, I remember the first quest I think World of Warcraft makes you do as an alliance player is go kill 7 wolves.
Correct. It doesn't matter what race you are, what class you are. If you're a human, you have to go kill 10 dire wolves right outside of the Goldshire mine.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I remember that. I know I have a problem. I'm obsessed with WoW. I've played it since it came out. But regardless, I know what mission you're talking about.
Yeah. And then, so like, that's an issue. And then Steph made another good point. Destiny's not a free game; it's a free trial.
Yeah,
that's accurate. Because, and here's the other fun problem with Destiny: they vaulted content.
Yeah.
So everything before Forsaken can no longer be played. The exotics that were associated with it, you have to have a token to redeem to gain the exotics. And I know that because I bought what was the Hive Queen expansion? Something it doesn't matter. I bought the expansion pack for the 3 that take place after Forsaken because that's I don't want to get into Destiny 2.
The Witch Queen.
That much. The Witch Queen. So I bought the expansion pack that gave me the Witch Queen, which was the newest one at the time, and the 2 before it.
Right.
And it gives you exotic tokens for the expansions that came before it. So you can claim 1 exotic from each expansion. So in my Destiny 2 inventory, I have the Ace of Spades, which is the only exotic I wanted because Cayde 6 is a G. And also they killed Cayde 6, spoiler alert if you haven't played that game. But then they brought him back, so it doesn't matter anymore. Destiny will allow you to experience a percentage of its content if you don't own an expansion. Everything after, and like they pump out an expansion every 6 months, something like that. Like it's once a quarter there's a new Destiny expansion that drops.
Right, but it's becoming pretty cut and dry where it's just the same monotonous.
Well, and here's the thing. The story's done. There's nothing new.
Yeah.
It's with Last Light, of course he's back to being dead because fuck,
they can't make up their mind.
That guy, I guess. They can't make up their mind. But like Last Light, they were like, this is objectively the end of Destiny 2's story. And then they were like, oh yeah, by the way, here's another Destiny 2 expansion. My problem with Destiny 2 is that they're like, here's a story expansion. Now, in my mind, that means I'm going to get to play through a story that's linear, that's only going to last a certain amount of time. And then the raids are going to open up to me. And at that point, I can do MMO stuff and grind my way through the raids to get the exotic drops.
Right.
Destiny 2 doesn't do that. You get 1 story quest, and then it's a grind. And then you have to grind to get access to the next story quest. And then there's a grind. And then you have to grind through that for the next story quest. So they artificially inflate the length of the stories by forcing you to grind. And here's the thing. I've played 6 Destiny 2 expansions at this point in my life. I have completed none of them because every time the game's like, go to this area, grind for this thing, it doesn't drop.
Well, the percentage rate on drops for a lot of those grind quests are actually lowered to make you play more to really grind it out.
There's no way to increase them.
And I will admit, World of Warcraft used to do that.
Ubisoft and its XP boosters for the open world Assassin's Creed games.
Oh,
sure, that's sharky. But if you're telling me I can spend $5 to at the very least just be able to play the game at a regular rate, then okay, sure, I'll pay $5 for that. There's nothing like that in Destiny 2. They'd fucking rake it in if they did that. Like, you're telling me that I can guarantee my quest items for the story expansion drop for another $2? That's predatory at best, but okay. Because I really wanted to experience the first 3 expansions and then the next set of 3 expansions, and I never got that chance because I could never grind it. I don't care enough to sit there on Mars and grind for some fractal dust to unlock the next part of the Witch Queen expansion.
Yeah. Well, it's like
it just doesn't matter to me.
It's like Stephanie just said, they have to compact the story so much because they only do a handful of missions for each new expansion, that it really takes away the whole effect of hey, this makes sense. This is fun. I know the end goal. But I will admit, World of Warcraft used to do that.
Yeah, the original Destiny did the same thing with his expansions. It was 10 missions at most per expansion, but the grind didn't exist at the same level.
Right. It was reasonable.
50 of it was reasonable. You could still kind of flow through it. With Destiny 2, for whatever reason, they were well, let's just make it 1,000 times worse and harder for no reason. It doesn't have to. The problem is it doesn't have to be that way at all.
Right.
There's 100 examples of MMOs that don't do that. It's weird that the Chinese figured out how to do the Chinese and the Koreans figured out how to do MMOs better than anything North America has ever made. It's like, yeah, go play Black Desert Online.
Yeah.
You don't have to grind at
No.
any point in that.
No.
Where wins meet, I can tell you right now, if you're half going around and doing like odd side quest stuff, and the side quests that it's thrown at me have been at the very least entertaining.
Right.
It doesn't take a very long time. You can get through, like, there was a side quest that was literally like, hey, watch that bear. Then you watch the bear and it teaches you a mystic art, because like, that's the whole thing with wuxia.
Right.
Like,
Cultivating.
Martial arts are derived from everything.
Right.
So like the way the bear is hitting the tree to try and get the honey, and then you watch that for a second and it's like, okay, you've gained the mystic art of Tai Chi. Now use Tai Chi on the bear. And it's like, okay, cool. And you walk over and the guy's like, hey, dude, that's sick. Here's some fire arrows. Can you go shoot that honeycomb now and bring me the stuff out of it? And then I'll give you a skill book. And that's how I got like the Twin Blade skill book.
This is, yeah, see,
like,
this is sounding...
It takes seconds to do. It's immediately gratifying. And I think that's because the Chinese have learned how to capitalize on the mobile game market.
Right.
Where people don't have forever to play.
Right.
So it's like, I popped in for 2 hours. I did a significant amount of stuff. I had fun doing it, and then I stopped playing. Tomorrow I can go back to that game and pick up exactly where I left off with no issues at any point.
Yeah. See, that's why I ended up actually going back to World of Warcraft, because for a while there I actually took a break. After the expansion, after Mists of Pandaria came out, which I believe was... what was it called? The one where the Shadow
Cataclysm?
Veil. No, Cataclysm was the third expansion. Mists of Pandaria was the fifth. The one after was the one where the Shadow Veil breaking the two realms, separating all of Azeroth from like the Shadow Realm came into play. I can't remember what it's called.
You are talking about Warlords of Draenor.
No, that one.
No, sorry. Hold on.
No, that was.
I'm Battle for Azeroth.
That was
or Shadowlands.
Shadowlands. No, Battle for Azeroth was. That was around
the big war.
Yes, Shadowlands. That one was where I kind of fell off, because I was like, okay, there was no reason to add another whole realm into this, like, World of Warcraft ideal. But what it did bring to the table was not only new content, which isn't jam-packed. You can actually make a full understanding of the story. It's lengthy, but in the sense of the story's lengthy, the missions aren't, like, tiresome and grinding. The percentage for drops for enemies went up, because they finally understood, hey, people don't want to kill 50 of the same enemy just to get 3 items. 3 of the same items.
Here's the thing. You're making them pay to play the game every month. They shouldn't have to do that.
That's where they still lost over 10% of their player base when they released it, because people were like, hey, fuck you.
Expansions.
Yeah, like, we're not paying $90 for an expansion while still paying, however hundreds of dollars a year to play your game monthly. Especially when people don't have time to play it every day.
Yeah, there have only been like a few expansions that were given out at like a discounted rate because they were important. So like the first expansion,
yep,
Burning Crusade,
yep,
if I remember, was free.
Yep.
Because it was important to the game.
Uh-huh.
And then Cataclysm was significantly discounted because they knew people needed that.
Right.
Legion was significantly discounted.
Yep.
And then I think it was Shadowlands had the same thing. It was Shadowlands or Battle.
No, Battle and Shadowlands were both full priced. I believe it was Mists of Pandaria that were discounted.
Dragonflight might have been discounted too.
Dragonflight, yes, because Dragonflight was discounted because Shadowlands did so bad. They were like, "Okay, we're gonna give you a discounted price because we want you to come back."
I think the other part of it is that like they understood that expansions that that changed the way the world functions
Yeah, that's a problem when it's been
have to
set
be
in.
cheaper because you need people to buy them so they experience the new
Well,
like the new world, right?
especially when they're breaking that kind of ideal to the player base that has played the same game consistently for 20 plus years now, and suddenly you're like, hey, we're changing the whole theme of this game. Here you
Yeah.
go. People are going to be pissed. But what
And
brought
like
me back to it was, like you said, the whole grinding issue that a lot of these games suffer from. World of Warcraft finally caught on to this, and I don't know if it was because of like what you said with the Asian market, figuring out that people don't have time to do this for hours on end just for one item. World of Warcraft raised the percentage of drops for stuff like that, for missions, for quests, so that you don't have to grind as much, and it really brought me back because I can now enjoy the story without spending 8 hours looking for one side quest, They also made the
I
navigation system
remember
a lot easier. They made the flight system a lot easier, so you don't have to be like level 50 and have done every main quest in an area to, get the flight system back in place. Um, but what I'm just letting him fix himself here. He's taking his sweater off. Okay, you good?
yeah, sorry, I had to take my
No,
sweater
it's all
off.
good. It's all good. So what I was saying was it's nice that you don't have to grind for 8 hours to find one item, because I can now play the story, be happy, be understanding, and move on with my life, kind of thing. The downside they
I give
still
Final
have
Fantasy
is
credit that they don't have that to the same degree.
right, right. I did
Like
find that out
14
very
never had
quickly.
that.
No, I found that out very quickly, which was nice, which was one of the things I liked about it. The downside that World of Warcraft still very much suffers from is the fact of the major paywalls with its, just its simple things like inventory or transmogrification. If you want to make your character look different, you now have to pay in-game credits, which you have to buy from the Blizzard store and stupid shit like that. And they've got like 4 different types of currency, which just makes it even more confusing, because if you buy the wrong currency, well, now you can't use that for that. You got to use it for something else. And that's money you're out because they have no refund process. But if you want to play the original
Can I?
expansions for free, the one nice thing that I think World of Warcraft did that a lot of other companies should look at, like Bungie with Destiny, is Blizzard was like, hey, we know you guys don't like these paywalls. We want you to keep enjoying the game. We will bring back all the old statistics of like the original find your way on your own, no map system, grinding everything out, and we will give you the first like 4 or 5 expansions for free. So that's where World of Warcraft Classic came into play, which I have played quite a bit of because, like I said, I played it when it first came out, and I currently have a level 30 Blood Elf Paladin in World of Warcraft Classic, and it's nostalgic. I forgot how much you have to fucking grind, and I remember very quickly why I did not enjoy that. But it was nice to be able to play all the way up to, I believe they're up to Warlords of Draenor now, for free. You don't have to buy the expansions. They just, every couple of years, they're like, hey, here's the next expansion. Like, they thought they were going to go up to the first 3, like, up to the Wrath of the Lich King and be done, because that was the original 3 expansions where you didn't have to worry about Kalimdor, you didn't have to worry about the overworld, nothing like that. And then they were like, hey, here's the next one. And we're like, oh shit, you're going to keep giving them to us for free every couple of years. So Classic
Do you
has
remember
really gotten a
how?
bigger player base because of that.
Do you remember how wildly upset everybody got when they added Wrath to Classic?
Yeah.
Because originally, the original pitch for WoW Classic, let me take you back in time in my Wayback Machine. The original pitch for WoW Classic was it's vanilla World of Warcraft,
Uh-huh.
and the Burning Crusade will release in a year.
Yep.
And it'll all be remastered. It'll all look like current WoW.
Yep.
And that's it. And then everybody was like, okay, cool. And then everybody finished Burning Crusade. Then I think Blizzard realized that once people finished Burning Crusade and there was nothing else to do, they just stopped playing.
Yeah,
So
which
they're
is what
losing
happened.
subscriber count.
Because it's the thing is, if you
And
were
they were
paying a
like,
subscription for World of Warcraft, you got World of Warcraft Classic as a proxy. You didn't have to pay separately for it.
yeah. And then everybody was like, okay, cool, that's fine. And like the diehards were willing to stay on that hill. They were like, we love the Burning Crusade raid
Yeah.
and the level 40 level cap because it's like the 30, 40 level cap.
At
That's what
the
Burning
at
Crusade
the
was.
time, I believe that
I think it was
was
40
I think it was 40 or
because Wrath
50.
increased because Wrath was 50 and then Cataclysm through to like Battle was 60 and Battle upped it to 70, Legion upped it to 80, and then I think Dragonlance, which is where they're at now, is like 120 because like everything after Legion was another 10 levels, which is redundant because I don't fucking need it.
Dragonflight put it up to 100 because if you remember, actually during Battle for Azeroth, they reset the level cap back down to 60. Because
right,
the level
once
cap,
you start that expansion, your level drops.
right? It took it back to the original classic level cap of 60 because people were starting to catch the level where you could go and run a fade on the Lich King by yourself, and that was not the original intent of a dungeon that big. You know.
So like that is a I can't. Jesus, what point was I gonna make? But yeah, like so. WoW did that, and I think that's cool. I think you should be able like WoW Classic should just be cheaper. It's content they've had in the bank forever. It's servers that they're not using. Like I don't think there's that many people that play for World of Warcraft anymore, and it's violently expensive if you do.
There's still about 10.1 million players worldwide that play World of Warcraft, which, admittedly, when we're looking at the world's population, is not a lot. However, keeping in mind,
if you look at how many people used to play it, it's not a lot.
That was still that was still only about 15 million.
A lot of people.
It is. It is. But the original peak of players was only about 15 million. So they've lost a lot of players, but it's not like they've lost all of them. But that purely is because, I agree with you. Classic could be cheaper, but keeping in mind that
just let people play do what Game Pass did. Which is a terrible example, but I'm going to use it anyways. Game Pass was like, all right, cool.
I get where you're going.
So here's your options, right? So you can pay for Super Mega Ultra Deluxe, and it's going to be $20 a month now.
Yeah.
Or you can trim some of the fat, and you can pay us $15 a month. And like, the fat in question here is you get rid of EA Play.
Right.
And like some of the newest games aren't available day one to you, and it's like a very weird selection of those games aren't available to you day one.
Right.
If that's still too much, there's still a $10 option, but there's not a ton here. But it's like all the legacy stuff, right, is available for $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me. Like you could do that with an MMO. Like for $20 a month, you should get all of the stuff as it comes out. Nothing should be locked behind a paywall to you. For $15 a month, everything but the newest thing. And then for $10 a month, here's Classic. Have fun. Like
I agree with you there.
This is a full game. You can just go play.
I agree.
And if you're willing to keep giving us the money, you can keep playing it.
I agree. Like, the caveat to that,
if the paywall is your business model, then that's how it should work. It should be staged, right?
Yeah. Have tiers to it. Level tiers.
Not everybody is going to go backwards. Some people will want to go forwards. Like some people will want to play Classic because it's what their dad played or what their uncle was into or what they grew up playing, and they want to go back.
Well, and I've heard the latest expansion that came out.
They might catch up to Classic and be like, man, it would be cool if I could play the stuff that comes after Classic, and
then switch over,
up the subscription, and port the character over. And then it's good. And you don't have to start from square one again. You can play where you picked off, like where you left off.
Right.
It just makes sense. If you want the ultimate MMO experience, there's a couple that spring to mind that aren't like overseas. One of them's Canadian. Two of them are Canadian. One's very new. The other one's not so new. It's about a decade old at this point.
Right.
And I think that the third one is older than that again. So we'll start with the oldest one, which is made by a company that we both like, BioWare.
Right.
And that's The Old Republic.
Yeah, which I'm
It
going to be
has
doing eventually on stream after I do the Knights of the Old Republic games.
it has no paywall,
Mm-hmm.
no paid expansions.
Yep.
It has paid content, which is
Right,
fine.
right, right.
Like you can buy stuff
Mm-hmm.
to change your play.
Right.
That's cool. I'm good with that. Let me buy stuff. Let me use my adult superpower, or let me grind for it.
Right.
Either way is cool. I guess I have 4. Um, the fourth one, because I'm going in no order in particular, is Eve.
Right.
Eve Online. If you want to play
Which
an MMO in space,
has been making a major comeback with all of its advertising lately.
it does have paid content,
Yeah.
but you can grind for it.
Right.
And at no point do you have to engage with other people if you don't want to. You can
Right.
exist in secure space and you're safe.
Right.
And then the 2 newest ones last are made by a Canadian company.
Uh-huh.
Little indie company. You might have heard of it, probably haven't. They're called Digital Extremes.
Yeah.
And they've made one very successful game with, like, at this point, I think they're at like their 26th major expansion comes out next month. And then they have a game in early access that you actually have to watch the dev streams to get codes to, or you have to join the playtest registration, and they cut codes once a week. They send out random codes to people who've added themselves to the playtest list.
Mm-hmm.
So the one in playtest is currently called Soulframe.
Yeah.
And it's like a high fantasy version of their flagship game. Their flagship game is called Warframe.
Yep. Now,
here's the beauty of Warframe. If you've never played Warframe, I highly recommend it. It is actually, I'm not going to say it's a perfect game, but it is a phenomenal game.
Mm-hmm.
It's an MMO, so you can play with people. It's mission based, so your instances for doing stuff are shorter. Some of the story stuff is a little tedium in that it bounces you around a lot. But you don't even have to do the story stuff. You can just go, okay, I'm going to open up the galaxy map to myself and then go back, and it's got a really nice laid out screen. These are all of the story expansions.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go, okay, well, I'm going to do this one. And it lays them out chronologically for you. Some of them are like side quest based. There's one where you meet the vent kids, and you have to be at a certain point in the game to actually gain access to them.
Right.
But the vent kids teach you how to ride what's called a K-Drive, which is a science fiction snowboard thing. You do cool tricks on it, and their whole story bit is about doing tricks on a K-Drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's goofy but hilarious. I'm no good at it, but like you can experience every major expansion of Warframe, and you will, if you're committed to just like, if you're willing to grind for some stuff,
yeah,
because the drop rates for the stuff you will need to grind to progress the main story are not low, you can just grind it out. Or if you got a couple bucks you can throw at it, you can just buy it. And the game frequently gives you coupons for the premium currency.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you log in, it's either giving you a coupon, it's giving you a bonus to a purchase, or it's giving you a premium resource,
mm-hmm.
which you'd otherwise have to go farm. It's very fast paced, to Stephanie's point.
Warframe is. I've never played it, but one thing I think I've made pretty clear is that I'm a big...
It starts moderately slow.
Yeah.
It does get much faster, though. It's a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter,
mm-hmm.
and it's the best MMO to ever be made. I am convinced of that.
And see, that's where I would disagree with you, purely just because I am still very much... I like fantasy more than sci-fi. I do really enjoy sci-fi. That's not to say it's bad. I really like sci-fi. But side by side, I'd rather take a fantasy realm, personally. And that might be just because of my personal obsession with isekais and stuff like that, in anime and all that. But I've played World of Warcraft since day one, and they have gone through a lot of ups and downs. They've gone through a lot of hiccups, but nothing compared to what Bungie's done with Destiny 2, for example. And so that's why, like, I took a year break from World of Warcraft. The next expansion came out, brought back a lot of the old statistics from World of Warcraft Classic. And I was like, you know what? I can get back into that. And they've actually done it again with the latest expansion that came out last year, because like you were talking up to Dragonflight, but there's actually an expansion after that that came out last year, which is The War Within, which kind of makes some sense out of the mess that was going on between Shadowlands and Azeroth. And
which a hot take is just them trying to copy Warframe, because Warframe has an expansion called The War Within that came out like 4 years ago at this point.
Essentially, yes, I won't disagree with that. I'm not saying World of Warcraft is. I'm not saying World of Warcraft is perfect.
I'm not going to say they're.
But just because they're fantasy based, that's my go-to. And like I very much, if I ever do just like a chill stream because I run out of games to stream or something, that is what people can expect to see on the channel, like on a Tuesday or something. If none of the guys are available to play some games or something, I'm just going to be putting on some quiet music in the background, and we're all going to hang out and chat while I just, play some World of Warcraft, create a new character. We'll go through all the quests in the storyline, and we'll just get it done, as a nice chill stream, because I really enjoy it. But here's the problem for us, is that we can sit here and talk about this forever, as well as D&D. I mean, we ended up talking about D&D for almost an hour and 20 minutes, and now we've been talking about MMOs and all that for, almost we're at an hour and 42 minutes. Tangent room. Hey, yay! This is why we're here.
Hey,
but there is some
like a squirrel.
There is some important news to cover since it's coming up, and I feel like we need to address that elephant in the room. We need to talk.
So since you've got so many opinions,
we need to talk about the Game Awards.
Let's talk about the Game Awards.
Yeah, we need to talk about the Game Awards.
That's a good segue. I couldn't have done it better myself.
I actually have all of the the categories on my computer right now, waiting so that we can talk about them.
So let's go through it. Let's have you vote live fire. I'm gonna pull the Game Awards onto my second monitor so I can still see chat. Also, just one more final contender for like an MMO, and Steph is the one that reminded me of its existence because I totally forgot about it. If you are willing to pay for a video game, like if you have the ability to buy yourself a game, and you want to play an MMO that's moderately well paced with free expansions and no paywall for your time, Fallout 76 is okay. They've fixed it significantly since it came out originally.
The plan is eventually to be going through all the Fallout games, including the original, even though it's been recommended that I don't. But I'm a hardcore series guy, so if I'm gonna play one, I want to play them all. And even if it's bad,
Fallout
like
game is good.
How many people have?
No, the first two games are actually very good.
Yeah,
Interplex did an amazing job.
I think this is something we can agree on here. How many people have said Halo Guardians, Halo 5? Was a really shit game. And I would agree with that after having played it. But I still played it because it's part of the series. I just, that's me. If it's part of the series, if it shares the name, I have to do it. It's just, I don't know if it's a quirk or just like a obsession of mine, but if it shares the same name, it's part of the series, even if the story is different, the gameplay is different, whatever happened, I need to do it. Prime example, Mass Effect Andromeda. I don't need to be playing it right now because it has nothing to do with the original storyline. But because it's a Mass Effect game and I'm doing the Mass Effect series, I feel the urgent need to play it.
I need you to promise me a thing right now to absolutely contradict what you've just said. You cannot play Fallout Tactics.
Why?
Just it's not.
Tell me why. Why?
It's bad. See, Rookie agreed with me.
See, a lot
That's
of
how you know it's bad.
Okay, you know what?
So,
a lot of people said Gears Tactics is bad, but
release. This isn't like that though. This isn't like that. I will give you the chronological release order of all of the Fallout games I can remember off the top of my head right now. Okay. Fallout 1, 2, Tactics 3, New Vegas 4, 76. Tactics is made by not I think it's Interplay, but it's not. It's a weird one. It's licensed, but it's not a Fallout game in the same way that the rest of them are. Don't touch it unless you want blisters and boils, Ricky says. It's pretty close. It's like a very early attempt at like an XCOM style game, but it doesn't play like an XCOM style game, and it doesn't play like a Fallout game. It's just kind of, it's non-canon. It's just kind of this hodgepodge of shit that they glued together to like try and save the studio, and it didn't work. It's not. It's just trust me on this one. If you've like, I know you don't trust me at all, but like if
Oh
you're going
yeah,
to pick,
no, not at
one
all.
time, this is the time. Save yourself the headache and the grief. Do not play Fallout Tactics. It's not worth it. 1 and 2 are actually excellent games. They have very good stories. They play very nicely. Like 2 is a good improvement over 1. Interplay did a killer job. You can glitch the casino, make infinite caps. 3 is awesome. New Vegas is the greatest story to ever exist. 4 is very fun and a good improvement on 3 in New Vegas. And then 76 is an MMO. So, like, the main story games are worth every second of your time.
I think I'm about to make you very sad right now because I actually found
Tactics is not.
a bundle collection. I can buy 1, 2 in Tactics for $22.
Bro, make a GOG account. You get them for free.
Oh, fair.
In my GOG, the first game, because it gives you a bunch of like really old retro games. Also, you're going to have a hard time running them on a modern computer unless you run them through GOG. The first 3 games I ever got on GOG were Fallout, Fallout 2, and Tactics. So I speak from experience when I say you won't even get halfway through Tactics. It's so infuriating.
I think what I'd probably do is I would probably play it off stream because I still would personally like to see how shit it is, you know?
Yeah, do that. I think, and you know what? I might be dead wrong. Like, Rookie and I could be incorrect on
Well,
this.
because
I don't
you got to
think we
keep
are.
you got to keep
You
in
might
mind.
enjoy Tactics.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind how much of a sucker I am for C-rated movies and games, as well as the fact my recent love I've found for turn-based games. Hence all the Battle Sector I've played. But
Yeah.
I will.
We gotta
Yeah,
get
no,
a
I
co-op
want
mod
to
for
test it
XCOM and play
offline.
that together.
Fair, yeah. That's another one I want to check out is XCOM. But
We'll name all of the XCOM soldiers after chat.
before we run after on another tangent, Game Awards.
Anyways, so let's start at the top. I'm just literally going through the like vote procedure for like when you click on vote now, this is the first game category that pops up.
Okay,
Game of the
start
year.
voting. Game of the year. Oh wait,
So
I have
Game of
to
the War
I have to
contenders.
sign in to vote.
Yes, you do. While you do that, Game of the Year contenders, we've got Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2,
There.
Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
See, for me,
Now,
I would
I think
probably.
you've played none of these games.
I have played Hades 2.
Actually.
I own Hades 1 and 2 through Epic. I don't mind them. I like them, but I have
I like
much
how Rookie
more.
was like Expedition 33 is winning, and then changed his mind the second I said Silk Song's in it. I'll be honest.
Rookie likes the Hollow Knight games.
I voted for E33. I think it's a better game.
That's the same one I'm voting for because I have a biggest. If I was gonna vote for anything other than Claire Obscure, I'd be voting for Death Stranding 2 because I have a massive interest in the Death Stranding games. But I want to play Claire Obscure much more because I've seen a lot more content about it. So
I think realistically,
Claire
the
Obscure
2 games that actually deserve the win, or I'll give it 3 games that like deserve a real shot at winning, are Claire Obscure, Hollow Knight, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. The Kingdom Come games are phenomenally impressive. They're brutally difficult, but they are extremely good games.
Fair.
But
Wait,
I voted for
Rookie.
Expedition 33.
Rookie, I thought you liked. I know you haven't played them, but I thought you had an interest in the Hollow Knight games. Or was that? Oh, you know what? That was Fuck, he hasn't shown up in the chat in a while. That was Sam, wasn't it? Sam Rudo. I know he's got a massive obsession with the Hollow Knight games. But yes, next category.
Yeah. On to the next category, Best Game Direction award for outstanding creative vision and innovative in game direction and design. The contenders are Expedition 33 again,
Right.
Death Stranding 2 again,
Right.
Ghost of Yotei,
Right.
Hades 2,
Which
and Split Fiction.
I've heard a lot of. I've heard a lot of contradiction about Ghost of Yotei. I've heard a lot of people say that it was really good for like graphics reasons, and
in the context of innovation in game direction and design, I don't think Ghost or Death Stranding should be on this list.
Which
honestly,
is fair.
I would contend that Hades 2 shouldn't be on this list either. Hades 2 is a new game, but it is just Hades 2.
Yeah, it's just updated Hades.
Games that innovate in story and direction and design are Expedition 33 and Split Fiction.
Well, and again, keep in mind, Expedition 33, a lot of games have been done in that likeness before. How many games do you see out there that are like Split Fiction specifically? Like, that is hard.
That's what I'm saying.
That is hard to come by.
I'm here to tell you,
Split Fiction.
For Split Fiction.
Yeah, that's what I'm voting for. Split Fiction's got to win it.
On to Best Narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F.
I can see the running theme.
For Expedition 33.
See, with that one, so I've
this year, all of the nominees were voted by the people. In previous years, the awards have been voted by the people. The nominees have been preset. This year, it's flipped.
Rookie, we played. We haven't played It Takes Two yet. That's the third of the 3 series from Hazelight that we haven't done, because we've done A Way Out.
It's technically the second.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, of the 3 that they are known for right now, that's the one we haven't played. That would be the third one for us.
Correct.
Because we've played A Way Out and we've played Split Fiction, but we haven't played It Takes Two yet. Honestly, though, for best storytelling, I could see where you're going with Clair Obscur, because it really does have a fun and like in-depth story that you get into.
Story.
But the problem is that
like
Silent Hill is
what the story is.
Silent Hill is really strong though, because it's showing a different story of the same situation. And this is actually I believe this is the first time we've seen it take place in like a classic Japanese setting as well. And it brought a lot of other like horror tales to light through Japanese culture. And that one is hard, because I've seen a lot of content from the Silent Hill game already, and it looks really good, and especially since it was Konami Entertainment that did it. Konami is really good at interactive and storytelling.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I voted obviously for Expedition 3.
Right, which is fair.
Thing about me, I vote for games I play.
Right.
So I couldn't play Ghost of Yotei because it didn't come to Steam. I haven't finished the first Kingdom Come Deliverance, so I haven't bought the second.
Right.
I didn't buy Death Stranding 2 because I didn't enjoy the first one. I haven't bought Silent Hill. I played Clair Obscur on Game Pass, which is how I played it.
Mm-hmm.
So like some of these, I'm gonna be like, I voted for the same game like 8 times. It's because it's like the only one on the list I played.
That's fair.
I heard that Kingdom Come like Deliverance 2's story was very good. I've heard Yotei's story was very good. That's cool. Like I haven't played them. I don't know that. So like for narrative, I chose E33.
See, and the thing is when a new game comes out, whether it interests me or not, I try to keep up to date with like what it's about and what keeps it interesting and stuff. I watch
tons of reviews.
Yeah,
I watch tons of stuff about lots of new games just to try and like keep up with the rumor mill.
Yeah.
I very rarely buy, like, I wasn't gonna buy myself Arc Raiders.
That's fair.
Matt bought it.
I was gonna say that was
Matt. He was like, when are you gonna come play Arc Raiders? I was like, I'm not. When you like, I'm waiting for it to go on sale unless you buy it for me. And then literally 5 seconds later, I got the notification. I was like, okay. So the next category is Best Art Direction, Outstanding Creative and or Technical Achievement in Artistic Design and Animation. Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Silksong.
See, when it
for Silksong.
I was gonna say, when it comes to outstanding creative and technical, like artistic design, I feel like Silksong does kind of stand above the rest for all of these.
Yeah, Death Stranding 2 is the same graphical style they used for the first one.
Yeah,
Yotei's same thing. Hades 2 same thing.
thing.
Expedition 33 same thing. Hollow Knight is actually an improvement.
Well, yeah, because the problem is that a lot of these games, like Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, they're all basically just graphical updates of games that have been done in the past. I mean, Death Stranding 2 and Hades 2 are very obvious because they have predecessors in their series. Ghost of Yotei, same thing. Clair Obscur, though, how many other games have been done with that kind of storyline in mind? It just with small variations, and it's just updated graphics. But creativeness,
I agree with that. I think realistically, I should have the visual effects and style of Expedition 33 are the best in that category.
They are.
I voted Silksong as a preference thing. I like the hand-drawn style of it.
That's the thing, though, is Clair Obscur is good for technical artistic design, but if we're looking at the creative side, Hollow Knight, I think, does a better job of it creatively.
Yeah. So lock in your vote and let's move it down the line.
Yeah.
Best score and music. Outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack.
That one.
So the contenders for this one
are
Christopher Larkin for Silksong, Darren Korb for Hades 2, Lorien Testart for Clair Obscur, Toma Ottawa for Ghost of Yotei, and Woodkid and Ludwig Forsell for Death Stranding 2.
I think for this one,
I voted for Expedition 33.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Expedition 33 for this one because I actually enjoyed the soundtrack so much that I put a lot of the songs on my playlist.
It's really unfortunate that Risk of Rain 2 just dropped an expansion earlier this week, because if that expansion had come out a month ago, I guarantee you Risk of Rain 2 Alloyed Collective would be in this category. Guaranteed.
That's fair.
For sure.
I think another.
I thought it had the best soundtrack. It was between that and Ghost for me.
That's fair. I honestly, if we're gonna talk about great soundtracks, especially since I just found them recently, I think that anybody who enjoys upbeat, like techno funk rock kind of thing should definitely look at Ghostrunner. Ghostrunner has an amazing upcharged soundtrack that just it helps. It honestly helps.
Ghostrunner 1.
It's weird.
It's here.
Ghostrunner 1 is in here?
No, Ghostrunner.
It's year. 1 it's year. That's the I don't blame it. I can see why. Cuz it was so good of a soundtrack that Ghostrunner 2 actually reran a lot of the same songs.
Yeah. So yeah, lock in your vote. Let's move it down the run.
Yep.
Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. So this we're going from the background music to the sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Battlefield 6, Expedition 33, DS2, Ghost, and Silent Hill. I voted for Battlefield 6.
That I'm gonna agree with you because I feel like
sound design in Battlefield 6 is unreal.
I feel like they did a lot of research worth their salt with that one, because even just down to the littlest detail of running over rocks, you can physically hear if your character kicks a rock. And it really plays into the stealth factor, as well as when a bullet pings off of metal compared to concrete. They actually gave it different sounds that are very true to what it sounds like in real life. I feel like the Battlefield Studios really did a great job with that one.
Yeah, they absolutely killed it. I can't think of a shooter that I've played with sound design as good as Battlefield's has been.
Yeah.
And every time I go back, it doesn't matter what I'm doing in it,
mm-hmm.
It sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
So going from that to best performance, which is awarded to an individual for voice acting, motion, and/or performance capture,
Yep.
we've got Ben Starr in E33, Charlie Cox in
I
E33,
I already know who I'm
Erika
voting for.
Ishii in Ghost of Yote,
hmm
Jennifer English in Expedition 33, Kanatsu Kato in Silent Hill, and Troy Baker in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
See, for me,
Now,
that's a no-brainer. It's
I
Troy
voted for
Baker.
Ben Starr.
You
I
fucking
voted for Ben
numpty.
Starr.
No,
Anyways, so we're gonna
no,
lock that
you
in as we
got
move
no
down the line.
fucking Troy Baker. You numpty. Jesus, how
Listen, the
could you?
clown from Balatro is taking it again.
How could you not vote for the guy who played Pain in Naruto Shippuden as well as the Joker in Batman Arkham Origins? He was also Joel Miller
Listen,
in The Last of Us. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He was
listen,
Sam Drake in Uncharted 4,
listen,
man. Like,
listen. But he wasn't Nathan Drake, so
I
that's
don't give a shit. The man is a
point.
master.
Point valid. Point valid. Not recognized.
I will keep fucking
Not a huge
going.
Troy Baker fan. Troy Baker was the villain in the first Death Stranding. I learned that through watching Let's Plays of it.
Exactly.
Anyways, next category is innovation in
I
accessibility.
hate you.
Recognizing software and/or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience.
Thank you, rookie.
You know what, rookie? That's okay. You can be on the wrong side of this one.
Look, you can be on the wrong side of history all you want. Your decision ain't right.
Here's the thing about this category. I actually don't know anything about accessibility features beyond the colorblind functions. So the category for this one is Assassin's Creed Shadows, which doesn't make a ton of sense. Atomfall, Doom the Dark Ages, EA Sports Football Club 26, and South of Midnight. I didn't vote. I moved on. You know what I mean? Like none of that made like I understand like there have been games in the past that have done things for accessibility that I've heard about or like have had features that I've used. For example, Final Fantasy 16 has a really nice thing where there you can add visual cues. If something happens and there's an audio sound that plays, some people have hard of hearing,
Right.
or some people are hard of hearing, so you might miss that audio cue. There is a visual accessibility cue that forces you to stop and try to figure out what just happened.
And Assassin's Creed has been big for that for years, and they just keep adding more and more ways for people with disabilities to play it. Like I'm pretty sure
That's valid.
that Shadows.
I went back. I voted for Shadows.
Yeah, fair. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of ways that Shadow has actually made it possible for like people that have disabilities, let's say in their hands and stuff. You know, there's people that have learned how to play video games with their feet. They have given ways to make play more accessible that way, whether it's like rebinding functions to the same button, but you have to like hold the button for a certain amount of time or something, like they have done little things to try and make it easier, but the biggest one is how many of their games that they have improved the, hey, you may not have seen this because of your eyesight, so here's a audio cue to let you know that there's something in this area you should be looking for. And me, who's not even blind, that has helped me immensely. Like,
yeah, hey, I get it. I wish Andromeda did that for the scanner stuff. You get a very quiet audio cue, and then there's like a little icon in the bottom corner of your screen.
Yeah, and
that's it.
And
that's
all
you get.
It only goes off once. If you miss it, that's it.
That's it. So that's innovation and accessibility. Moving on to games for impact. This is for a thought-provoking game with approach, social meaning, or message. We've got Consume Me.
Right.
Despelo. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wanderstop. Now, admittedly, I don't know what social impact or meaning South of Midnight's supposed to have.
I don't even know what South of Midnight is.
South of Midnight is it was like a Game Pass exclusive that took place. You play as a young woman who's like trying to find something in the bayou, and it's like, what if the bayou was supernatural?
Shit, I saw I saw trailers
So
for
I
this
voted for
one when it
Wandersoft
was
and I
still
know
in
nothing about the
beta.
rest of those games. Correct.
I didn't know that's what
It
this was called because I remember seeing the trailer of her standing in front of that big guy in the bayou playing his beaten up Hawaiian steel
Yep,
guitar.
that's the trailer. So the next category, moving on, because I don't have enough to talk about anything on that one. So the next category is best ongoing game, which is I always find very interesting because
Oh,
it's like you get some pretty old games in it. So it's awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time.
right,
So in this game, we have Final Fantasy 14,
right.
Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, or No Man's Sky. Now, at first, I was like, it's gonna be No Man's Sky, and then I was thinking about it. It's almost got to be Helldivers 2. It like the long term of Helldivers 2 has been fantastic,
See, the problem with that though is
and
how much of their content has been riddled with backlash and just mixed reviews. It's not a lot of stuff that happens with Helldivers 2 is
you know
positive, which
what?
is unfortunate.
I don't necessarily think that it's been that negative either. Like, so lots of the stuff with Helldivers is um, people complain about the Warbond content,
Yeah.
and like I guess thinking about it now, like the ongoing development for Helldivers 2 has been the Warbonds and giving people a reason to keep going back.
Mm.
Um, that is that's kind of it, but like its ability to maintain this player base on and like the major orders and the way the major orders have affected the galaxy, because there was like like every year since that game has come out, there's been a string of major orders that significantly changed something. So the last one was like the Meridia black hole, and then the attack on Super Earth, and like the dynamic of that
That's
universe changes
that's
with
true.
every major order,
The Illuminate
which
coming into
is
play was
cool
a
and it's
big
interesting.
thing.
Well, and
Yeah.
like everybody knew they were coming because
I think I
they
see
were in
what Matt
the
is
first
gearing.
game.
I think I see what Matt is gearing up to play me against when we're done on stream. I just saw him load up
Uh,
Battle Sector.
Matt commented for half a second about Expedition 33, and then started talking about how it's his real life Pokemon game, like his real person Pokemon game, which is
Yeah.
hilarious because then he started Battle Sector. Um,
I think
fair
he's.
play, bud. Fair play.
I'm gonna call Matt out on the stream here. I think he's still a little upset that he bought me the Demons of Corn DLC and then I completely wrecked every one of his armies except for his Orc army because I made a bad move. But we played, what was it, 4 matches, and I completely decimated all 3.
So is Helldivers 2 takes it
I,
because
yeah, I would say with the
they've added
Illuminates,
enough
that
to
was
make the
a.
game fresh and interesting. Like it's or not fresh, but like
Sorry, Matt. Love
the
you.
added angle to it with the new
Um,
enemy types has been cool. Plus the major orders changing things at like the same scale as an MMO have been fun.
I,
Um,
yeah, I with the Illuminates coming into play, I would agree with you. That was, I haven't been a massive fervent player of Helldivers 2 because I was kind of late to the game. Honestly, I only just played Helldivers 1 after Helldivers 2 had came out, and one of the guys gifted it to me, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And they were like, "Have you never played Helldivers before?" And I was like, "No." So they also gifted me Helldivers 1, and we played some of that, and then went into Helldivers 2. And
the first
being
Helldivers
me
game is such
being
a wild thing to go from.
I enjoyed it though because I really love twin stick shooters. Um,
Oh,
but
I absolutely agree. That's the
even
reason why I played it originally. I owned a
yeah,
PlayStation 4 and I was looking for just like a basic game to get into and play,
yeah.
and I'd never heard of it before, so I it was on sale for like $5. So I bought it
But
for
even
like
me, who's
the
not
I
a
can't remember what
massive
edition they call it. It's like
oh yeah, I don't
but it's just a good
remember.
game.
It is.
I
I
think it's like the Into Hell edition or whatever they call it. Like
something like
it's a
that.
dumb thing.
Dive into hell or something. But I me being a not very big Helldivers player to begin with, when the Illuminate attacked and that became a big thing, I even was like, okay, I'm joining the fight, and I started helping out and playing the game more, even more so than I did when the Terminids attacked the creek, or not the Terminids, the automatons. You know, I remember being
I was
part of the original Malevelon Creek issue, but not big,
me too.
not fervently, but I was a
I
major player when it came to the Illuminate invasion.
I don't know how many times I died and how many bots were slain on the creek, but
Oh,
it was like that was all I did for
may
like
there,
a week. It was
may
just like
there,
I'd get home
yeah,
from work and I'd just be like back into war.
may their valor always be remembered on that field.
So I was moving on. Best community support.
Yes.
Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity
Oh,
and game updates and patches.
that's a
So
no-brainer. Baldur's Gate
we have
3.
Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I think it's probably a split between Baldur's Gate, Helldivers, and No Man's Sky.
See,
Those are
I'm
like
gonna
Larian.
I'm gonna
See,
tell
here's
you,
the thing about Larian. They're done with Baldur's Gate 3 now. It's
they
complete.
they
There's no
are
more patches for it.
they are, but I'm gonna tell you
There'll be like
why.
major patches.
I'm gonna tell you why it's a no-brainer though, even though it's done. Because
Sure.
every time they made a major update, or what people would call DLC content and stuff like that, or fixes, they were like, hey, do you want this? We'll give it to you. And the community was like, well, okay, how much do you want for it? No, we'll just give it to you. Also, here's a free, here's some free content. Also, here's another free update. Oh, did you also want this? That's okay, don't pay for it, we'll give it to you. Where do you find that anymore? And the community has just loved them for it.
I think Larian has shown that there is a business model behind standing behind your community.
Yeah.
That like they've done an extremely good job of that. I do agree with that point. I think No Man's Sky's done a similar thing. Their pacing on it is worse, and also like No Man's Sky is still caught in the feature creep trap that they built for themselves before the game came out. Where they're like, the game's gonna have all of this stuff, and it came out and it had none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's
every
going to have all of
expansion
this
that's
stuff
released for No Man's
eventually.
Sky, yeah, all the stuff that's come up for No Man's Sky has been them catching up on promises they'd failed to deliver.
Right.
Well,
yeah, because like No Man's Sky was
been continuously adding big patches with lots of new stuff,
right
countering to Rookie's point.
Right, but
like
it's like you said though, they've been doing it in weird intervals, like right as people get into it after a big update,
yeah,
and then as the love for it,
off,
yeah,
and they're like,
right
hey,
as it
check
starts
out this
tapering
stuff
off,
we just brought back.
yeah, they're like, hey, we're gonna drag you back into it. Whereas the community for Baldur's Gate 3 at one point was like, okay, Larry, you need to settle the fuck down because we have more than enough content. We enjoy the game. We love it. We're not asking for any more. And Larry was like, no. Here's another one. Here's another one. Keep going. Here's another one. And they just kind of overwhelmed the community a little bit with how much free shit they were just tossing around. But in the end, it was such a positive outcome. And I haven't played No Man's Sky, so I don't know. But I mean, the pacing issue alone was enough for me to say that Baldur's Gate's
at the best of times, like No Man's Sky is one of those games that, like, irregardless of how you're playing it,
yeah,
like it, because the game is meant to be played in like the survival mode. If you get the wrong starting planet, this is a issue that's been mitigated significantly since the game came out originally. If you get the wrong starting planet, you're just kind of stuck. And that's it.
Well, and I mean,
you don't have that issue with like any other game.
From the Helldivers side of it, this is what I was saying earlier about like the community being so mixed about whether it's good or bad. Helldivers 2 has had a lot of patches, but if we look at the content that's been added, there really hasn't been as much for a big increase of community love and support compared to what Larian did with Baldur's Gate or Hello Games No Man's Sky. Helldivers 2 has been mixed in so much negative slash positive, just like mixed bias groups, especially when they found out what servers they were running it on, because the servers were limited because they're outdated server systems, or the engine or whatever it was, because I think it's a Swedish engine they used for it, and it was
Hmm.
limited, so they had to really finagle with that. Um, they have really only added one faction to the game since it came out, and they made it this big grandiose thing that tapered off very quickly, because like I think they were hoping the battle for Super Earth would last a lot longer than it did against the Illuminate, and it didn't. So that's why they panic rushed and reset the automatons and terminids to suddenly pushing so hard again, so that they were trying to get their players to come back and bring the fight. And then it really drove them to be like, hey, we're gonna try and bring in people from, Xbox and stuff into this. Bring in, the whole ODST divers and the whole jokes about
Yeah.
Halo people coming in and helping in Malevelon Creek, and then it didn't happen. It
Okay,
didn't
but
happen. It didn't happen. There's been
listen,
so much mixed.
I'd like to state that once they did finally get the game onto Xbox, which would have purely been a Sony problem,
It was.
um, it the increase in Helldivers, like, so that game I think still has an active player count somewhere over 1 million
Right, yeah.
between the three systems you can play it on.
Right, and it's
And
still an
like
enjoyable game.
the Halo Legendary Warbond is peak.
I agree with
Like
that. I mean,
if
I
you
think
buy
they
that
made it a
game and
bit bullshit
only
to try
use
and
that
get it.
Warbond, it's 500 more of like the super credits to get that Warbond.
Yeah,
And then if you only run that weapon set, you need nothing else,
right. And
which
like I
does
said,
kind of negate the rest of them.
I
But
agree that it's still a very enjoyable and fun game, but the community base in this sense is what we're talking about. The community base has been wrapped in so much turmoil about the decisions that have been made about this game that it's really hard to put it on that same plateau as Baldur's Gate and No Man's Sky. And I mean Fortnite and Final Fantasy 14, they're
yeah,
just here because they have massive community base, players. That's just a given. There's not really much to say about those two because they're just still relevant enough that they're here. But I really struggle in the essence of community based support why Helldivers 2 is on the same plane as these other games, you know?
yeah. You know what chuffs nuts? Just very quickly, because I'm thinking about it.
What?
So the Game Awards, I was gonna make a suggestion that we should stream this and do a drinking game while
Oh
we stream
god.
it.
Oh
The
god.
Game Awards are December 11th, which is a Thursday.
Oh. I mean, I'd
Like,
be. That's usually when I do my Twitch exclusive, but I'd be willing to finagle the schedule so we could. I'll happily go grab some apple pie moonshine or
I'm
something
gonna
and do
have
that.
I'm gonna have to take fucking Friday off, dude.
Fucking do it.
I guess I'll do it.
Take Friday. Look,
But anyways,
look. We are content creators now.
let's
We got to
move
take
on
this shit
to the
seriously.
next. We got to take this seriously. Let's move on to best independent game.
Okay.
For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system, we have Absalom, Ball Pit, Blueprints, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Silk Song. I voted for Expedition 33
Yeah.
purely because I haven't played the other ones. Like Hades, I've played. Hollow Knight, I've
Well.
played. It's in my eyes, it's got to be E33.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. When it comes to this, like, yeah, made
Now,
outside
it's
the
important to note.
traditional publisher system, Hades and Hollow Knight do kind of fall into the fit and form of their, previous games, so publishing style. Absalom,
Yeah,
Ball Pit, and Blueprints, a lot of those, very like obscure 3D isometric games are making a comeback, whereas Claire Obscure kind of did it a bit differently because a lot of these games you see where it's adventure, survival, like this, they are done with normal 3D like hack and slash combat or interactive RPG, whereas this is an interactive story with the highlight of musically turn based combat, which you don't really see a lot of anymore. Like the last time I saw something like this personally was Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, and that game was fucking like 2003 or something like that. So like that's
Something
a
like that,
it's
yeah.
a dying breed of game, and so yeah, I'd agree with you. E33 has got to win this one.
And then moving on to Best Debut Indie Game, which is an award that had a withdrawal by the developer himself, actually. So originally it was Blueprints, Megabonk, Expedition
Oh,
33, Low, and Dispatch, which just
really?
came out
The
a month
developer
ago.
pulled Megabonk?
He pulled his game because it's not the first indie game he's ever made. It's not a debut
Oh.
game. It's the first game he made with his current studio, but it is not a like it's not his debut game. Like he made it under a
Hmm.
studio and they submitted it under the studio. And he went, "Well, no, hold on. I came to this studio to work for them as an indie dev.
Hmm.
This is my game. I am the director of it. This is not my debut indie game. I talked to the team. We'd like to withdraw Megabunk from the Game Awards for Best Debut Indie Game.
Right.
It's not our debut indie game." And so they pulled it. Now, I voted for Expedition 33. I probably would have voted for Dispatch, but I never played it.
See,
And
Dispatch was funny
it
as
looked
hell,
really
and
good.
it was good, but there wasn't as much story, combat, just overall general interest as
Well,
Clair
it's
Obscur.
essentially a visual novel, right?
It is, only except in a more of a 3D nature compared to like the Invincible games. Dispatch
Mhm.
really reminded a lot of people of kind of like a 3D version of Invincible, just with non patent copied names and characters, you know?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean
And
it's
like
not
I think they did
good.
really
It's
good.
just there wasn't as much to hold it up to par as something like Expedition 33.
True. So we all know who we're voting for there. Moving
Yep.
on to Best Mobile Game. For the best game playable on a mobile device, we've got Destiny Rising,
Mm-hmm.
Persona 5 The Phantom X,
Mm-hmm.
Sonic Rumble, which literally just came out like a week ago. So I don't know
Yep.
how that's on here.
I don't know. I mean,
Uma
I've
Musume,
played it, but yeah.
Uma Musume Pretty Derby,
I
and
can't believe
Wuthering
that
Waves.
one's on here. Holy fuck. That
I
one.
voted for Uma Musume, and I
Did
never
you
even played it.
actually? Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's fucking
Well, I sure as
wild.
shit. You know what? If I'd played the Persona mobile game, I might have voted for it, but I wasn't voting for Destiny. I knew the Sonic game was going to be a fucking phone in, and I don't know what Wuthering Waves is. I also vote for Solitaire Rookie. So
Wuthering
unfortunately, Solitaire
Waves is
Solitaire not on the list.
I
Unfortunately,
don't
got
want to
kicked out
say
of that
it's
one.
I don't I don't want to say it's a gotcha game, but it's one of those games kind of like Bleach Brave Souls that is a mobile game that you can also play on PC or console and connect your accounts and keep playing content there because it's derived to be on both for full
Uma Musume is the
accessibility.
same.
Musume is, but I'm surprised it's
It's
on here
Uma
because of
Musume
its
is just like Genshin.
it is borderline rated 18, like PG 18. That is wild that it's on here.
Yeah, there's
Because
a
like,
couple of them.
have you seen the anime? That's why I bring it
No,
up. The anime is so fucking
no, I have
wild.
not.
Oh my god, these girls, like you think that they just race for fun, but outside of the races, no, they genuinely get treated like livestock. It's fucking wild. Like they have no shame. Like their managers have no shame about treating them like just a piece of meat, and I cannot believe that this is on here because I imagine the game has to be pretty similar in terms of just the fucking horny, like disappointed degeneracy. Um, I think personally for me,
Yeah, it's an anime game, so it says it all, isn't it?
yeah, I enjoy Sonic Rumble. I mean, Rovio, the same people that made Angry Birds. It's, they know how to make a good
Oh
mobile. They know how to make a good mobile game. What did you not catch that?
no.
No, yeah, Rovio Entertainment. They're the same people that made Angry Birds. They know how to make a good mobile game, but it just hasn't been out long enough. Like me and Tegan have been playing it for the past couple days. It's fun, but it's just the content's kind of monotonous as any other Sonic game. Yeah, Sonic can only be done in so many iterations before it's the same thing over and over.
Well, yeah. There's nothing new there, right?
Yeah, Persona 5
Um, I
was.
did know that, Ricky. Thank you for that. Did you know the guy
Oh,
who made
Jesus
Angry Birds
Christ.
also made
I
Angry
just,
Birds Star
I just
Wars?
read that.
I
That's
love the
amazing.
hills that you die on. That's
That's amazing.
my
Um,
my favorite thing.
Persona 5 was good. I tried not to play too much of it because I am waiting to play the actual Persona games on stream whenever I decide I'm going back to JRPGs. Uh, but I do enjoy the Persona world. It's really cool. However, Wuthering Waves has had so much more content. It's way easier to play. Like, you can just pick it up and go whenever, wherever. I think that one's going to be the winner because Destiny, just I'm acting like it's not here. It's the redheaded stepchild that should have died in the corner. Um, that's going to be Wuthering Waves for me.
Fair enough. Um, Best VR or AR games, which I didn't vote for. So
Mm.
whether it be virtual or augmented reality, Alien Rogue Incursion, Arcane Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, or The Midnight Walk. And none of those meant anything to me, so I just moved on.
The min the
Best action
midnight
game.
the midnight walk. I'm actually gonna vote on these ones because the midnight walk
You
was pretty much a
go for it.
VR offshoot version of Little Nightmares, and it was not very well received. The Deadpool VR was actually really fucking funny. It was really cool gameplay as well. Although, like, the reason why I haven't played these is because VR, I get motion sick really easily in them apparently. So I can only play like 2 songs of Beat Saber before I'm done. Um, Ghost Town reminded me of VR version of Alan Wake because like I haven't played it personally, but I've seen quite a bit of content of Alan Wake enough to get what it's about, and that's what Ghost Town reminded me of. Arcane Age didn't see any of that, so I'm not really sure what it is. I mean, the picture looks cool, but Alien Rogue Incursion. I have a massive fascination with the Alien versus Predator worlds and all that, given that I semi agreed slash resisted playing Alien Isolation for so long, but I actually
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna be going back and achievement hunting that game. Um, I have played a few of the other Alien games as a subsequent, and I have watched and caught up with all the Alien movies as well, and just like canonical lore and stuff like that. So I think this one's just a gimme for me because as much as I like Deadpool, Alien is on here, and that's gonna be for me.
That's valid.
Because
Uh,
Rogue
yeah, you can
Incursion
go to
was
bed.
yeah, you go to bed. Rogue Incursion was supposed to be pretty much a VR version of Isolation, anyways, or Fireteam Elite, if you will.
Yeah,
Um, so that really intrigued me, and I really enjoyed that aspect. But yes, best action game. That's a no-brainer. I'm already seeing my answer.
yep. So
Yep.
Battlefield 6, Doom the Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, or Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I obviously voted for Battlefield 6 because it's a peak game.
And
Um,
that's where you would be wrong. The action is really good in Battlefield 6. I will not disagree that. And I mean, I played a fuck ton, as you know, but
are you
you
voting
just
for Ninja Gaiden 4?
yeah, I am
You
hardcore.
know what? That's fair. It's made by Platinum, so I fuck with that.
Hardcore. Well, I mean, you've
Next,
you've played the original Ninja Gaidens, right? Like 1, 2, and 3.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So
I
I
played
mean,
some of them.
that right there. Every Battlefield has been different in some way or another, and it's made it really hard to stay on track with them. Hades 2, I mean, that's just a rerun of Hades 1 cut and dry. Doom the Dark Ages, again, just a different version of Doom. You can only do it so many different ways. But Ninja Gaiden 4, every game brought to the table a different style while staying on the same storyline, the same path with the same character, and a lot of people have been waiting for this, me included, because I am planning on streaming this. I'm actually going to go back and stream 1, 2, and 3 as well, because what makes Ninja Gaiden so special for me personally is that Ninja Gaiden was actually the very first game I ever streamed on my channel. If you scroll all the way through the 420 some odd streams I've done, then you will see the very first stream I did was of the second mission of Ninja Gaiden 2. And then I ended up moving on to Darktide at the time because it came out and we were really big into that. And then I started moving into actual series like Liza P. But Ninja Gaiden, that holds a special place in my heart because that was actually the first hack and slash game I ever played. And the action in it was just so riveting, even though it was so much older than all the other games. And now they're finally making another one. And just, that's an easy one for me. Platinum Games just does amazing games. They do amazing action, and the graphics and textures don't cut out while all the fast-paced action, comes into play. For me, Battlefield 6 is more or less just like a realistic Black Ops. There's only so many things you can do with it, and the storyline was way too short to, really make it stick out.
But it was good.
It was good. I agree with that. The storyline for me, once it made sense at the end, jumped up to like a 7 out of 10 for me on the low side. I would say it was probably about 8.5 for me. But it was way too short.
I was going to make a Call of Duty joke, and then Ali jumped in. How's it going, buddy? We're not going to do that.
Blue.
Anyways, best action adventure games.
Oh, that one's
combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So there's DS2, Ghost of Yotei, Silk Song, Indiana Jones: The Great Circle, and Split Fiction. I voted for Split Fiction.
Hold on. No, that's not what I want to do.
I'm sure Death Stranding 2 is great because it's Death Stranding. And everybody loves building ladders so they can deliver more packages per package. Yotei is a great action game, and I'm sure the adventure is phenomenal.
There, I'm doing Indiana this. I'm doing this so people can interact with us.
That's hey, good on you. Look at that.
See,
we're so good at this. We only thought about that. I don't even want to know what we're 17 categories in.
Shut up. Don't worry about it.
Of 29. Go us.
See, this makes it difficult for me because not only am I an avid Indiana Jones fan, but I enjoyed Split Fiction. I really, really did. And I know you did as well. We had lots of fun with it. We even got quite a few good shorts out of it on the channel. But the puzzle solving and the puzzle solving and traversal really wasn't there because it was very story driven. So it was always telling you where to go.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
What?
So I know you're going with Indiana Jones on this one, but did the ending of Indiana Jones make you tear up and kind of cry because the adventure was that good?
Well, it wasn't
meant. The answer is no.
It wasn't meant to be a sad ending, though.
Neither was Split Fiction.
Indiana Jones.
Jesus
Christ, that was.
Trying to hurry at the end of the stream.
That was heartfelt, though. We cried at the end of A Way Out too because it was sad. Those are meant to be heartfelt endings. Indiana Jones is never meant to be a heartfelt ending because you know that there's always going to be another adventure. But what I actually did tear up at the end of Indiana Jones was when it was all said and done and the woman that you had been working with, because of course there's always a woman. I don't remember her name because she pissed me off so much. After they kiss, you ask her if she'll stay. She says no. As her plane is flying away, Indiana Jones basically goes, well, time to go on to the next adventure, and it fades. Watching the plane fly into the sun, it fades as the Indiana Jones theme song starts playing. That theme song is so riveting that Tegan got really excited and started hopping around and screaming because she heard the song. And So that alone trumps the ending of Split Fiction for me, because Split Fiction is designed to be a heartfelt, memorable ending. Indiana Jones is meant to be, there's going to be another adventure. Hence, in point, the DLC for the Tomb of Giants.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You like Indiana Jones?
I really do.
Listen. Vote for Indiana Jones. Let's move it along.
Indiana Jones
It's
was what
11
got
o'clock at
me.
night. I
Well,
want to go to bed at some point. We should have started with
suck it the
this.
fuck up. Um, Indiana Jones was what got me into like adventure when I was a kid. I actually wanted to dress up as Indiana Jones when I was a kid for Halloween, but I was too fat, so it didn't make a lot of sense.
I also have a deep love for Indiana Jones. I get it. Next up, we're best RPG. Best RPG for the best game designed with rich character customization progression, including MMOs. Unfortunate. So there's Avowed, which is made by Obsidian, Expedition 33, obviously, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Outer Worlds 2. Also made by Obsidian. I don't know how. Here's the thing. I don't remember Avowed coming out this year.
I've never even heard of it. I know a lot of the focus from Obsidian. I know a lot of the focus from Obsidian was about the Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds are great games. I'm not gonna.
Haven't gotten to play them. Honestly, I know what they're about, but I haven't gotten to play them.
As an RPG, the Outer Worlds are like, well, I can't even make. Never mind. I'm not gonna make. Let's move on. As an RPG, I think realistic for Wilds. If I'd played it, I probably would have voted for it.
I would agree with you there.
I really like the Monster Hunter games.
The last one I played was Rise. And I'm not a huge Monster Hunter.
Worlds.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Monster Hunter person, but I can't deny the fact that the MMO experience alone with an RPG like Monster World is above and beyond all these other games. But they're also chock so full of shit and different ways to progress and customize just the whole world. That's an easy vote for me.
The thing about Monster Hunter that like Worlds that fucked me up is that like if you own a certain edition of the game, you get what's called the Guardian set. You get Guardian set Alpha right at the start of the game. The Guardian sets unlock at certain story moments. So it's like as the game opens up to like the full Monster Hunter experience, you get Guardian set beta.
Yeah.
And then you keep playing the story until you hit the next major story moment. Then you get I think it's Gamma is the third Guardian set.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like this is fine, but the whole point of this is you hunt monsters and build weapons and armor with their parts. So why am I being like why is that not better than the pre-gen sets? And Worlds doesn't have that as far as I'm aware. Or sorry, Wilds. But I haven't played it either.
I know Bagels.
I did the demo and I did the they released a benchmarking thing before the game came out.
Yeah.
So I've run through both of those. I enjoyed the demo that I played of it. It was really fun. But I voted for Expedition 33 because it is the RPG in my mind.
That's fair. I understand that.
RPG was Final Fantasy VII.
I understand that, and I can see where you're coming from. I've seen so many of our friends like Hayes, Zach, Biggles, Fred. I don't know if Tony has it, but a digital gamer, all of them have this, and they have played it quite a bit. Hayes and Biggles play it every other freaking day. It looks like it's got just as much shit, if not more, packed into it than Rise did, and the story is very lengthy. I personally, I've only seen a lot of the actual combat. I haven't seen a lot of the actual story for Clair Obscur, specifically so that I don't ruin it for when I do get it myself. But I think just in terms of general size and, content, Monster Hunter probably has more.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. While you lock that in, I'm currently just trying to find a list if it exists.
Oh
It
boy.
doesn't. Um, but the next category is best fighting
Well,
game.
I know which one Blue would vote for.
Here's the thing.
Calling you out, boy.
Think I actually think I agree with Blue on this one. It's 2XKO, right?
I as much as I bug him about it, I would agree because honestly, Mortal Kombat's Mortal Kombat. I enjoy Mortal Kombat, but it's just the same shit over and over.
2XKO is the only one that came out this year.
Yeah, that too.
Virtua Fighter 5 came out last year. Fatal Fury came out last year. Capcom Fighting and more. Those aren't new games. They're just fighting collections.
But again,
I don't actually enjoy the Street Fighter games.
No, honestly, I've tried them, but I don't either. But it's like you said, not only are none of them new games except for 2XKO, you also got to look at the fact that how many of them are just reruns of their previous games. It's not new content. The cool thing about 2XKO is a lot of their characters are actually like legally patented, copied from League of Legends, just with different names and different abilities.
Yeah. So it's and like honestly, everything I saw of it, because I watched some videos on each of these once I hit this, because I was like, I don't even think I've seen Virtua Fighter 5. I had not. 2XKO was the only one that visually looked appealing to me to play.
Yeah.
It was new, it was fun, the character design was interesting, the animation was good, the effects were cool. So like I voted for Mortal Kombat, and then we were talking about it, and I was like, actually, no, 2XKO is going to take it.
No, yeah, 2XKO is going to take that one. It's the newest one. It's got the coolest like fighting updates in terms of just abilities, combat wise.
It's just fresh and new. It's not the same shit.
It is. It brings a new take to the fighting game scene.
So now to retread a bunch of weird stuff. Just kidding. This one's actually, the next category is fun. This one's best family game.
Yeah.
Best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. We've got Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and Split Fiction. And I straight up, I don't own a Nintendo console, so I will never get to play Donkey Kong. I'd like to play Lego Party. I think that could be funny.
Lego Party is fun. Lego Voyagers is also fun, but that's because me and Tegan are big Lego players. The thing is, for me and Tegan tried playing Split Fiction together after you and me finished on stream. It did not go well. Honestly, we didn't make it halfway through the story because it's just too difficult. So I really would like to know what they're meaning by family play, because when they're saying family play, given that Split Fiction is in here and the racing games, they're more than likely talking about families that have kids that are like above the age of 9 or 10. Well, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, that's a lot easier for most kids below 10 to play, hence Tegan, because she's 5. We've tried playing racing games, because I've actually got the Lego 2K Racing, and it's way too difficult. Racing games are just way too difficult for her. Split Fiction's too difficult because the story's too in-depth. There's too many things she needs to do at the same time. I know nothing about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'll be completely honest about that. I've never been real good about paying attention to Donkey Kong games just because I've never had a valid interest in them. Me personally, I enjoy the Sonic Racing Crossworlds game, but it's just not. And Mario Kart World, Mario Kart World is pretty much just, GTA racing in the Mario Kart dimension. I think for this one, I would go.
I played with a family member, so.
Which was?
You can take a gander.
Which one?
The one that you shit on for the most amount of time.
Split Fiction?
I voted for Split Fiction.
Jesus Christ. I mean, we're gonna have different opinions on that though, because other than Matt's kid,
from my perspective,
you don't have anybody who's still a child in your family.
I like how most of my family members are older, and like I purposefully aim not to play games with younger kids because I don't want to end like because I like playing games,
Right.
and it's not to say that playing games with young children removes that fun for me. It's the opposite. It's the I don't want to tell a kid how to play a game.
Right.
I don't like at any point in time because that's
right.
removing the fun for them.
You're sitting down. You want to
So
just enjoy playing the game. I understand that.
so we played Split Fiction. I
Right.
enjoyed it greatly. It was probably one of my favorite games that I've played this year.
I would agree with
That
that.
was an excellent family game. I think when you look at games that are best played with family, it's either stories that best capitalize on the dynamic of knowing who you're playing with, or playing in a large group, which is like this category does very well.
And that's just it.
All
For
of these are meant to
me,
be played with more than one or two people,
right.
or it's a story revolving around knowing who you're playing with.
And that's just it.
So
For my side of it, I would be going with Lego Party because I know who I'm playing with most, and that's Tegan. And,
yeah,
knowing what she likes and what I like, the Lego Party has been such an interactive game, and she's been able to learn so much from it for like how to think outside the box and find new ways to bring her ideas out. It has really helped her in more ways than one, and it's helped me a lot too because I don't have to constantly be like, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that, and then she gets
mhm,
mad about it. Like you said, it's all about the perspective of who you're playing with, who is your target audience on a personal note.
yeah, for
And
sure.
so I think for me, it'll
Um,
be Lego Party.
yeah. So now we've locked that in. We're going to go to the absolute opposite end of the spectrum of
Jesus.
video games. Welcome to Best Sim and Strategy. Game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation and strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. We got Final Fantasy Tactics, Jurassic World Evo 3, Sid Meier's
Civilization
Civ
7.
7, Tempest Rising, The Altars, 2 Point Museum. I've heard The Altars was very good. I voted for Civ 7.
I I'm probably gonna vote for Civ 7 as well because I'm not a big. It's not that I don't like dinosaurs. I just never was really big into the Jurassic situation. Um, but
Evolution.
I heard
I think
Tempest.
Jurassic World Evolution was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I played the
yeah,
first one. I played a bit of the second one. I never played the third because honestly, I didn't know it came out.
right.
And Frontier builds really good sim strategy games.
That's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
but Civ will always hold a special place in my heart.
That's just it.
Um,
Sid has been there for so long for so many people who are into that kind of game. From what
yeah,
I've heard about Tempest Rising is Tempest Rising was just a reboot knockoff of Command and Conquer.
Command and
So
Conquer.
yeah, that one kind of was just
The
left to the dust.
the
Um,
2 Point games are good, but they're not
they're
for me.
more childish than anything.
Well, they're very much like water
They're
like not watered down, but like they're aimed at a younger market to
they're
get
yeah,
those people
they're
into them,
trying to get younger
which is
gens back
fair.
into sim and strategy, which I think is a really
They're
cool thing to do. I won't discredit them for
and it,
that. But
and at this point they're starting to hit like they're starting to they're starting to hit the autism hyperfixations, right? So like there's 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point University, and then 2 Point
no
Museum.
museum, yeah.
Um, like if they keep going on the tract of picking things that like young kids are hyper fixated on, like this is their obsession. I think in the same way that like Jurassic World Evolution does, I think they'll make they'll make more games that are better as they go on.
Right, yeah, like they'll maybe start making games that are more and more evolved and
What
growing
Matt's
with the generations that they were
children need
designed to.
games. Kids are getting so stupid.
You're not wrong.
Thank you for that, my
Honestly,
brother.
the attention span issue, the TikTok attention span, has really taken grip on even a lot of adults in the world, and it's become such a problem. Like,
6-7, six
I,
seven.
I will fucking drive over to your house right now. I,
Please,
I, please give
it's
me peace.
infesting me.
Give me peace and rest.
Anyways, Lock it in. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm going with Sid.
The kids need strategy games. Sid Meier, Civ 7 takes it. The next is
I
best sports
I thought
slash
you
racing
fucking said
game.
6-7 again. I was about to scream in
Nope,
slurs.
Civ 7. For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing games. So we have EA Sports Football Club 26, got F1 25, Mario Kart Worlds, Rematch, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, as a guy who likes sim racing, it was F1 25 for me.
I'm not surprised.
I haven't even played it. I've only played 24. My vote in 25 was cemented recently because EA has finally done a good thing for once in their entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, we get a calendar-based release of the F1 games.
Right.
And they always come out before the season. 2026, we will not be getting that. Instead, it will be a DLC released for 25, which is fucking perfect. Because here's the thing. Before, you could play multiple years of an F1 campaign. And there was you could just progress the next year. But you stayed in the same car every year. So there was so the reason why this is important is because 25 is the last year of the ground effect regulations.
Right.
And the last year of DRS. So next year, the aerodynamics in the cars change significantly. People Codemasters has refined how F125 plays enough that people like it again. So adding the 26 cars into that engine that they already understand how it works makes sense.
Yeah.
And it allows a longer replayability of a game. And I think from a racing game perspective, Codemasters with the F1 games have made it unilaterally approachable because you can play it with a keyboard if you really want. It's because the assists are there to accomplish that.
Right.
You can play it with a controller because that's how it's designed to play. Or you can play it at a very high level with a real sim rig with direct drive because they have that option as well. And you can cater the experience to how you're playing very well. And then if you want to play with friends, the F1 games and Grid Legends are the easiest way to do that in racing because they're the most easily accessible across every platform.
Right.
And yes, it uses EA's stupid gamer tag system where you have to have the EA Origin account to use it, but cross that small hurdle, world's your oyster.
Which is fair.
I've started at this point, I think 3 different F124 careers. And I would love to get to do another one that I get to see to the end. But it's always fun. And it's it's racing that's taken from the real world that you can compete in. You can just interject yourself into the sport and have fun with it.
The thing for me though is that everybody knows every year there's going to be another soccer game and another F1 game because that's just a given. How many years have they been doing it in a row now? The thing that we got to look at is the Sonic racing game was very anticipated, and I will not deny I enjoy Sonic way more than I enjoy Mario, and I really like Mario, so that's saying a lot. But every time a Mario Kart game comes out, it is like a ground shaking thing because they change it up so much to bring a whole new gameplay style to the Mario Kart games. How many Mario Karts can you stick side by side and say they're exactly the same? They are wildly different from game to game. So every time it comes out, it's like a world breaking thing, and people just love it and eat it up like it's fucking candy, which I understand because Mario Kart's always been fun. Nintendo. Yeah, well, Mario Kart's always been fun. That was the groundbreaking. If you want to make your family hate you, then you play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And
Mario Party came later.
exactly. And I think Mario Kart has been such a lovable racing game for families all over the world for so long now that it's just hard to look at that as a non-existent thing compared to F1. And that's not to say F1's bad. I enjoy watching F1 with you, and I haven't gotten a chance to play any of the F1 games, but I've seen a lot of gameplay from all of them because I enjoy doing that, watching the evolution of games. And the Mario Kart games still hold a special place in a lot of people's hearts, including mine. So I think on a personal level, the Mario Kart one's going to be for me. As much as I'd like to click Sonic right now, I
Yeah.
think the Mario Kart's the one.
No, that's totally valid. Moving on to the next category, we've got best multiplayer.
Oh, well,
Outstanding online multiplayer gameplay design, including co-op, MMO experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain. Yeah, that came out this year. Peak
yeah.
or Split Fiction. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I voted for Split Fiction.
I can understand that because again, Arc Raiders, as good as it is, it's an extraction shooter. There's tons of them out there.
Yeah.
And
Look,
Battlefield 6,
I've
there's tons
enjoyed
of
every
Battlefields.
second of Arc Raiders.
Yeah,
Every second of Arc Raiders I've played with Matt and with Hug Time,
yeah,
I have enjoyed thoroughly. It's not my
but
favorite multiplayer game. Battlefield 6 takes it over that.
yeah,
I love Battlefield 6, but
but
like
but again,
it wasn't
yeah,
it's
it's the
it
same.
was
It's the
it's a
same
set
cut and
experience.
yeah, it's the same cut and dry
Yeah.
multiplayer experience. And Elden Ring, Night Rain, well, you're just
I
pretty
don't
much playing a different version of Elden Ring, you know.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not that big a fan of like I like Elden Ring and I like Souls-like games. Night Rain at no point called to me. Like I never bought it. I never
No,
played
no,
it. I
that's
watched some gameplay. It looked cool. I
yeah.
moved on.
The interest in Night Rain
Um,
dropped off so fucking quickly. It was scary. Like it was here for a couple weeks and then suddenly it just disappeared. And
Matt's probably the most hardcore Night Rain player I know, and he doesn't play it anymore.
that's just it. Fred played it for almost 3 weeks straight and then just stopped. You know,
Yeah,
just
because
flatline.
at a certain point you do everything you want, and then
Yeah.
there's nothing else to do.
And Peak, I
Um,
don't get me wrong, I enjoy Peak. It is a cool game, but there just was not enough content to keep me entertained, you know? Like
yeah,
it was advertised as being funnier and more in depth than it was. And I just
yeah.
a lot of the button prompts don't work
Matt's
properly and what I like
Matt's
it's
point
fun.
here is prime for multiplayer games. I like it. It's fun, but it's definitely the same thing over and
Yeah,
over, but they make it harder sometimes.
right. But Split Fiction
That the
breaks that
same can be
mold.
said. The same can be said about Battlefield and Arc Raiders.
Yeah, that's
It's the
just
same
it.
thing over and over again, and sometimes it's harder, sometimes it's easier.
Right.
Peak, I think, is like a funny game if you're playing with friends,
It is,
with
but it's not a
and like it's a
mainstay game.
multiplayer game, so that's the idea. But
Right.
like,
But it's not a
there's not
mainstay
enough
game.
there.
Yeah.
Split Fiction, you could go back and play with different people.
That's a that's a personal multiplayer, one-on-one multiplayer.
Yeah.
That every time you play
And
it, you can get a different experience with people.
And because Final Sentence isn't on this list, Split Fiction
Yeah,
is my favorite multiplayer game of this year.
that's fair. Well, and I think Split Fiction is not on here because it's still very much like demo.
Yeah. So that's what I voted for.
Oh,
Moving on to
that's not fair.
to best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium.
How could they do this?
The first candidate automatically out.
Yeah,
the
fuck
Minecraft
that.
movie is not a faithful adaptation.
Tegan loves it. I can't stand it. Yeah,
Devil May Cry,
Mhm.
Splinter Cell Death Watch,
Yeah.
which we talked about on the podcast, Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. I went with Devil May Cry.
I know
that's
such a hard one because it's like Devil May Cry or Splinter Cell.
If you want authenticity,
Devil May
Cry takes it.
Yeah,
Splinter Cell's cool because it's a new story within the universe,
the original
and it's a
lore.
very good story.
But the problem is that Splinter Cell has always fell short of telling people where this is taking place within the main lore.
Yeah. Honestly, Winnipeg, Canada, kind of killed it for me.
that was rough. Honestly, that one hurt my soul a bit. Yeah.
only watched like 3 episodes of Devil May Cry. It's hilarious and it's
Honestly,
funny. It
I
has everything that makes the Devil May Cry games hilarious within it.
I haven't watched any of the Devil May Cry, and I already know
Dude,
that it's amazing.
is this the first episode. It it's oh man.
The only clip I've
I
seen from
can't
Devil May
remember what
Cry
the
that made
setup
me
for this
love it
was.
was when I think
Was it Dante and the baby?
no, Dante is in that like main area of like that store or something, and all those guys are shooting at him, and then suddenly he's beside them shooting at the wall with him. He's like, "What are we shooting at?"
Yeah, exactly.
That's all
The
I saw, and I was like,
the
"I love
first
it."
episode the first episode of Devil May Cry is this woman and her baby walking down the street, and then she like ducks into an alley for some reason. I think she's on her phone not paying attention,
Mhm.
and then a demon attacks them. Dante swoops in, tries to smooth talk her, looks at the baby, immediately points his gun at it and be like, "That's a demon, ma'am." And she's like, "No, don't kill my baby." And then like she runs away from him, and then the next scene is him rounding the corner and killing the demon that the baby turns into. And it's like
Oh Jesus!
it's the funniest collection of shit in like 45 seconds I've ever watched. It's so fun. Like it understands the source material extremely well,
It's on Netflix,
and
isn't
it
it?
does it perfect. It's on Netflix. It does it
Yeah, okay,
perfect
because I just
justice.
finished watching the second season of Hazbin Hotel, so I will probably be starting that in the next day or two.
So that's what I voted for.
Yeah, no, I'm voting for that one. As much as
And
I want to click on Sam Fisher right now, yeah, it was good, but it fell short of telling us again where it was canonically.
my favorite
And
my favorite part about that category's voting cards is that at no point in the show do you get that scene of Sam Fisher.
yeah,
He never puts the nogs on. He
no,
looks at them and
yeah,
he moves on.
right. It's like remembering where he came from, kind of thing, his past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I,
So, so onward to the next series, next category, most anticipated game, recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. 007 First Light by IO Interactive, who make the Hitman games.
mhm.
GTA 6, which is never coming out. Marvel's
Yeah,
Wolverine,
no shit.
which is made by Insomniac, which
Right.
will actually be a banger. Resident
Yeah,
Evil Requiem, and The Witcher 4.
by Project
I
Red.
voted for Wolverine. CD
Honestly,
Projekt Red. I like the
I
Witcher games. I'm
it's
most excited for Marvel's Wolverine.
it's a toss up for me. The Witcher, Wolverine, or 007 because I saw the early release trailer for 007 and I am super interested in it. Like I grew up playing all of the 007 games that were based off of Pierce Brosnan's 007. Like he was our James Bond of our generation. I I'm really looking forward to how they take the 007 story and push it forward in this new like updated graphics, and I believe they're doing it in first person if I'm not correct on
Um,
that, or maybe it's got the option to do it
I
both
think
ways, but either way it's going to bring a new light to 007 that we haven't seen in years, you know.
I think if it was, here's the thing. I agree with you 100%. I think the 007 game probably has the most promise. If it was anybody but IO Interactive, I
Yeah,
don't think it'd be worth mentioning.
no, that's I agree with
It's
you
the same
there.
thing for me with like Insomniac and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Insomniac has made some of
Well,
the greatest games of the last 20 years.
what story is Insomniac and Sony doing for the Marvel's Wolverine game? Like what storyline are they following?
Given the art that they've shown for it, it'll be a comic book storyline, but
But
I don't
okay,
know
but
which one.
we don't have any confirmation on which one it is though. Like do
Um,
we know what enemies it
but I
is or
no.
no?
I
Okay.
think 007 will be cool because like
They
IO made the Hitman games, and the Hitman games are phenomenal.
yeah, which I'll be
Like
doing on the channel soon enough. On top of that though,
the Hitman, the style of games that the Hitman series are fits 007
yeah.
perfect. Like the whole
Well, yeah.
idea of
Yeah.
it
Well, and think
is
about it.
prime.
Wolverine and The Witcher, they look cool, but the trailers didn't give us anything about what is going to be happening in the story. Like, we have no fucking idea. All we know is that they're making them characters look cool. That's it.
The Witcher
007,
4's whole selling point is you play as Ciri.
that's just it. That's the only
And it's
selling
like that's
point.
cool.
But
But I
what,
like
yeah,
that's
like,
cool, but I liked Geralt.
that's just it. A lot of people are pissed that it wasn't Geralt. Whereas 007, it shows you just enough so that you know what's happening and what's going on so you can get a grasp of the story, but not enough to show you how it happened, what's happening, like currently, like in between those facts. You need to find that out on your own, but this is what's happening. A previous agent tried to kill you. You need to find out why. You know, a
Yeah.
typical 007, almost like the old double agent game, you know, where where it starts out where you're training with 007 in this training facility and you accidentally drop a helicopter on 007 and the agency thinks it's not an accident and suddenly you're a rogue agent now trying to survive and you're working with the bad guys to get the fuck out of there, you know.
Yeah. So
Yeah, new,
call up
like
the
yeah, like
Bondulance,
Matt said,
get
new
into
elements
it,
of the game
and
without spoiling the contents.
yeah. So names Bond's name's Bond.
Yeah.
Call the Bondulance. Having Strunk. Pack it into the Bondulance, and let's move her down the line to the next category because this one's my favorite. This next category is content creator of the year. For a streamer or content creator has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2025. The nominees are Kadril, Kai Snap, Moist Critical, Sakura Miko, and The Burnt Peanut. And this may surprise you.
You voted for Kai?
But no, I voted for Peanut.
Really?
I voted for the VTuber
See,
Bondulator himself.
the thing is,
Because for the simple reason that every time I see a clip of Peanut streams, they are so hilarious to me that I cannot stop but like cry laughing.
that's fair. That's fair.
And
The thing with Peanut though,
like he's the only place I've ever found joy in the game known as Escape from Tarkov because watching him and Gingy play it since 1.0
yeah,
came out,
I
it's
I saw
like,
I
and this
saw
is
the
it's
clip of
classic Peanut. Like I've watched him before, and like he's playing with Gingy, and they're like haunting each other in marked room and dormitory on customs, and he's
mm-hmm.
like Gingy's shooting him while he's healing, and he's like, "All right, let's get out of here. We're getting shot at, Gingy." And he runs down the hallway, and he fucking like 180s, and as Gingy comes out the door, goes, "Helmet check," thunk, and drops her, and just cries laughing every time. Or
I saw the
he's
one
like,
where Gingy was standing on top of a rock over top of him, shooting down at
yeah,
him, missing
I think I
gloriously.
sent you that one too.
Yeah, he
She
looks
had
up,
the jump on
shoots.
him.
Yep, you're
She
horrible.
had the jump on
Oh,
him,
was that
misses
Gingy?
half of her clip, and then she goes, "What the fuck?" And then he he turns around and shoots her twice, and she drops, and then all you hear is her screen goes black. Goes, "Ha! You suck."
You're horrible.
They weren't playing together.
Yeah, and then he
All
saw the
he
clip
hears is,
and
"You're
he was like,
horrible."
"Oh no, was that Gingy? Oh no, I feel so bad." Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that
I
was
voted for Peanut because
I could see it.
he's been the funniest
He
source of entertainment
he's
for
brought
me.
a lot of positivity through his power of laugh and funny.
Yeah.
The thing for me though is as much as I don't really care or like watch him personally, Kai Cenat has done so much to try and bring other people to light in like a positive way, and he has helped so many people. And like look at what happened with his streamer university. You know, like he took the time and trouble to set all that up, and he also took the time to kibosh it, which was on a lot of ways not a very good business move, but he did it for the safety and like relevancy of the other people's what would you call it, like careers, so that they didn't completely ruin themselves. He protected them, you know, in a way that hurt himself while doing it. And yeah, okay, he's not perfect. He's done a lot of things that could be questionable, but just in terms of like when he did his funny stuff with Kevin Hart, him and his crew actually did quite a bit of damage to Kevin Hart's house. I don't know if you heard about that or not. And
Yeah.
Kevin Hart was quite upset with it after the fact. And
I don't necessarily vibe with Kai Cenat. He
but he has done a
doesn't come
lot of things
across
to help
like,
people in an important way. His streams don't
yeah,
really make a lot of sense to me because it's just a bunch of guys sitting around in a room listening to rap music and acting as if the camera's not there. I don't get how that, on a personal note, is enjoyable. But just looking at the
I
amount
think
of people he has helped.
eventually he hit a point where it seems to be more of a cash grab than anything else. Like,
That's
the man
fair.
does a subathon a month,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
I don't know who Cadril is. I think he's an esports
I think
streamer.
yeah.
Um,
I
Sakamiku
wanna
Nico
say
is
Cadril is
just
one
a
of the League of
VTuber.
Legends guys.
Yeah. And like Charlie is probably one of the most, like, I think he's one of the most under the radar content creators. Like,
Almost.
he's everywhere, but he's nowhere at the same time. Moist Critical. Yeah. He
That's
just
yeah.
exists.
Yeah, that's fair.
He voiced Sonar in um we literally just talked about this game. Dispatch. Um
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was
Well,
one of the characters in Dispatch, and then like that was it. Like,
and the
and
thing with
he,
Moist, the thing I find
he
cool
talks
about
about
him,
random stuff
yeah.
all the time, and he just does his own thing, and he isn't a shitbag
Well,
all of the time.
the thing I find cool about him was did Moist was the one that did a lot of videos and streams on how to like properly maintain your computer and build computers and stuff like that, wasn't he?
Hmm.
Because a lot of people want to do that, and but they have no idea where to start. And breaking equipment on a computer is, as you know, heart wrenchingly depressing because they're so expensive. Um, but I want to say early in his career, was he also not the one that brought a lot of awareness to like safety and firearms and stuff like that?
Uh, that sounds right. It
Yeah,
certainly was not Burnt Peanut
no. Um, but
or a VTuber. Um,
I think I would agree with you though, just in terms of like positivity and impact through the like love for laughter and joy. It would probably be
Listen,
Peanut.
Peanut's been on a generational run this year.
Yeah,
Like,
because even
man went from
I
streaming
stop and
to
watch
like
every
a
one of his
thousand
skits.
people. Yeah, he went from like 1,000 people a stream to like 30,000 a stream
Yeah, like
this year.
all it takes is
And
that
just
one clip that people are gonna find overly funny, and you're hooked.
so yeah, uh, let's ride on to the next one. Best esports game is the next subject, the next
Ah,
category.
yeah.
I can read. For the game that has delivered the best overall esports experience to players, inclusive of tournaments, community support, content updates, irrespective of genre or platform. We've got CS2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant.
Mm,
Um, I'm gonna be honest, because
I
Faker won his sixth, I voted for League.
yeah,
Moving on.
that's just a
Um,
yeah. We're not even gonna talk about that one. That's just a no brainer.
we're not gonna talk about it.
Not a huge
Best
fan of
esports
Dota.
athlete. Yeah, Counter Strike and Valorant are the same game, painted different colors.
You're not wrong.
Best esports athlete, we've got Brock, which is Brock Summerhalder, Valorant
Right.
player.
Yeah.
Chovy, who's a
See,
Jiangji
I
main.
actually know who Chovy is.
Yeah, me too. That's why I voted for him.
Yep. That's
Forsaken, Jason DeSanto from Valorant.
yeah.
Kakeru Watanabe, Street Fighter. Menard, Street Fighter. Ziwu, CS2.
Nah,
I voted for
that's
Chovy.
yeah, Chovy.
The man's out here doing it.
I can I just say on a personal note though, I hate that they like I can understand if they're called professionals or whatnot, but I kind of hate the fact that they're called athletes because this takes away from the whole essence of an athlete, athletic ability.
Um, Listen, I would
Like, that's not ragging on
I
anybody
would
in
state
particular. I just hate the whole ideal of being a professional gamer being called an athlete, because the only thing you're athletically exercising is your fingers.
I I agree with Matt's statement that they tap a different market of athleticism, and like ath- being an athlete is not necessarily being the most athletically capable.
Yeah, but
It's
didn't
about
accessing the
being able
brain
to
muscles used to
exercise the
just be
highest.
called intellectual?
See, I have a split. A professional gamer to me is a streamer at this point. If you stream and you have a solid following, whether it be large or small, you fit under the professional gamer category. To become an athlete, you have to be at the peak of the game that you play. These guys actually have to work very hard for it. There is like a there's a point in video gaming where like people refer to it as like the glass ceiling. The
Right.
glass ceiling is where the people who are going to actually go like be able to play at a professional level exist. And they also have to, like Matt said, have an extreme understanding of how everything works. Hilariously, I think was it Guma at Worlds? Somebody on T1 had to change their main for one of the matches in quarterfinals, and they literally had to ask the coach how to build and what the ability strat for them was, because they'd never played that legend before.
Jesus.
Owner. That was hilarious. And then he proceeded to drop like his highest kill game in professional league. So, anyways, we're gonna move on from athletes because that's not important. Let's talk about the teams they belong to now. Recognizing a specific esports team. I'll be honest with you, I know none of these guys except for
I
NRG.
I've heard of Gengi
I
and Team Falcons.
I I don't watch. Like, I know who T1 is.
Is
That's it,
T
right?
one even still around?
Yeah, they're the team that won Worlds this year.
Were they? Okay.
Um, yeah,
How
that's right.
come
Faker explained uh,
how
how to
come
play the
they're
hero
not
that
on
Owner
here then?
played. No clue. Couldn't tell you. I voted for Energy because I do know who those guys are, and that's it.
That oh, okay,
That's
that is it.
so, and then it's the voting rounds start in December. Um,
Ah,
3 rounds, 3 chances to vote, so you can cast 3 votes per category, I guess, is how this works. I don't actually know. I think it's narrowing it down. They're going to do it bracket style.
right. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it.
So that's the Game Award candidates for this year.
Okay.
It's an interesting lineup. It's an interesting selection. One of the things that I don't like about the Game Awards, as it's evolved over time,
Hmm.
is they've gone to this ideal that they don't need to be limited by the calendar year anymore,
Right.
except for like, because it used to be for a game to be eligible for each category, it had to have come out in that year.
Yeah.
That's why the Game Awards are so late in the year. So games that are released after the Game Awards count in the anticipated category for that year,
Hmm.
and then the next, like in 2026, they're eligible for awards. And that always made sense, except for legacy awards like ongoing game support and like community involvement, stuff like that. Now it's like, yeah, we'll just throw whatever in there. And I don't think they did that a lot this year, but there was definitely games where that was always the case, where it was like, that game came out 2 years ago. Why is that still here?
Hmm.
And that was something they changed last year. It's like last year, I think it was like a 3-year-old game won 3 different awards,
Yeah,
and
well, I
it was
mean, look at
like,
the fighting game sections, 2X KO was
well,
the
yeah,
only new
same
one.
thing. I That was when I was saying I was trying to find a list. I couldn't find it. I was trying to find a list of fighting games that came out in 2025. Um, it's I think the Game Awards suffers from, like Matt said, it's the attention span due to just the constant influx of content.
Yeah,
Matt's also a prime example of that. The Sweet Boy plays like 18 games a week.
it's fair.
I can't fathom it. Like I got 6 that I play right now, and that's it.
Well, and honestly, the only reason I switch up so many games
And
throughout the
even then,
week
I'm
is just
only
because I'm
actually playing
streaming
like
so many
3.
different games. Yeah. Like those games I stream,
Well,
I
yeah, but
don't
like
really play them off stream.
it's you're playing games as part of your business, right? So you you fixate on a set list of games every week,
Yeah.
and then you finish that game and you move to the next one.
hmm
Um,
You know, like one of
it's
one of the things that bugged me, you know, like since you're talking about games that didn't come out this year being on that list, why wasn't the new Tekken game on the fighting game list with 2XKO? You know?
yeah,
Like I don't want to
that's
vote
what I'm
on a
saying.
Capcom fighting game that's 5 years old. I want to vote on the new Tekken game.
You know what? I bet you I could actually use Steam to tell me this. If I go to browse and then I go all charts and stats, and I go to no, that's not going to do it. Store home. Let's change how I'm doing this. Categories. I can't believe Extraction Shooter says its own fucking category now. Where am I looking for this? Fighting and martial arts games. And then I go down to lists. Can I search these by year? Maybe. If I just 2025. No. Also new and trending. Okay. Absolem is that's a beat 'em up. There's a Beyblade game that came out this year.
I don't know why, but OBS
Uh,
just freaked out again. I think it just restarted the stream. I literally just
nope.
no.
Stream timer's still going.
Because it says for me
Um,
it's 18 seconds.
oh, well, maybe it did. I don't know. I could probably compile a list of these, but I'm not doing that right now.
Fair.
There aren't a lot of like big fighting games that came out this year, I think is probably a large part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And like for whatever reason, the Steam category is like, oh yeah, dude, these are all these it's the category is fighting and martial arts, and everything I'm seeing here is action games
Yeah.
or like beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
And that's not what I was going for.
No.
I'm kind of tempted to buy the Beyblade Evo Battle game, but I'm not going to do it because that would be stupid. Guilty Gear, that last one came out in 21. Street Fighter 6 was 23.
In essence, though, if they were going to,
It came out a full year. I think it's because this year was nominated by the people. I think it's the poor reception of the game that determined that this year.
fair, I just if they were gonna pick pick like games that were a
I
couple
guess
years
Fatal Fury
old, there was other
City of the
games they could
Wolves
have
did
picked.
technically come out this year. April
Yeah,
24th of 25.
yeah, and I mean the Marvel vs. Capcom collection they had was released this year, but the problem is that's a collection of all the old games. You know, it's not a collection of new games or a new game with some of the old characters or anything like that. No, it was just remastered games of the originals
Yeah.
in this collection, which didn't really make a lot of sense.
It's always an interesting thing as to like it's like because I've done this every year when the Game Award nominees come out. And every year I always end up sitting here like, what games did come out this year? And then you go back, you try to look at it, and it's difficult to know. Like probably either next week or in 2 weeks, talking about Tarkov is something I'd like to do. We'll get some people who are big into extraction shooters into it, so we'll probably bring Matt back for that, and then we'll see if my boy Hugs is going to be around and up for that. Where's I going with that? Like games that come out recently. Talk about Call of Duty a little bit because I'd be curious to know, Blue, what you thought of Call of Duty, because everybody says it's terrible, but you're a pretty diehard Call of Duty boy. So I don't know what you thought about that would be interesting to hear. I think if you want to come on next week, talk about Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Maybe and do some guest spots. Rookie suggested we talk about games that have been canceled. Because he was like, I got stuff for that. I haven't even ever really looked into it. I know there was a Blizzard MMO that got canceled forever ago that I was really looking forward to.
Right.
New World is about to be axed. The Amazon MMO that had a secret level episode. That game is dying. They're after this next major patch that they're putting out, I think in December, the game will no longer be supported. Because they determined it was uneconomical to keep running it because like nobody plays it. There's lots of stuff like that where it's just like we could dig on that a little bit, I think.
Yeah. I just asked him. Blue is down for Wednesday the 26th to do guest appearance.
Yeah, even if it's just for like a little bit or something. I'd love to hear a fanboy's review of Black Ops 7.
Yeah.
Pros, cons, goods, bads. Is it worth the money? Is it a buy on sale thing? It'll never go on sale. The Call of Duty games are all like
Yeah.
$90 on Steam right now.
Zombies wise, like I was watching Blue's zombie stream last night, and zombies wise, it really reminds me of like Black Ops 3 zombies. There's a lot going on. There's a ton of fucking gobblegum drops that you can have all at once. And like the weapons, the pack of punches are wildly unique. It's yeah, like there's a buy shop
I
for
think
stuff. The thing is though, is they brought in a lot of the battle royale aspects. Like you now have armor plates that you have to grab and put on and stuff like that. It, I, I
we
would,
were
I would have to try it
we were talking
personally.
about this. I was talking about this last night. I'm actually going to write this down on a piece of paper on my thing so I can remember the train of thought. But I'm going to write this down and I'm going to say it out loud.
Okay.
My problem with Call of Duty as it's kind of evolved is that all of the new Call of Duties after Warzone came out have been Warzone DLCs.
Yeah, yeah.
They
It's really taken away a lot from the actual main content.
like yeah, they all have the multiplayer and then they have like their selling features. So like the Modern Warfare games eventually brought in DMZ, which was a extraction looter shooter.
Yeah.
Which actually was pretty fun, admittedly. Like I played a lot of that and I enjoyed it all. But it hit this weird point where the games themselves stopped mattering and it was how do we change the Warzone experience to fit this new flavor.
Yeah, and it seems like
And
the
then like
games just kind of became an
the second
afterthought.
we add a new game, we have to get rid of the stuff from the old game that people have all spent like they've spent all of their time grinding for.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't own the new game, then they're going to end up with like a parsed down list of stuff that they can use from the new game.
Yeah.
And it felt cheeseballed. in the way that like it wasn't. I can't imagine who that's fun for anymore. Like
Hmm.
Warzone was cool when it came out, and it was a lot of fun. And then they started making it more complex, and they started like every new game that came out was just a new Warzone thing. It was like,
Yeah,
okay,
it really took over the whole
why is it
scene.
500 gigabytes? Why do I have to buy a seventh SSD for this game?
Yeah, no
Like,
shit.
hold on, guys, I gotta shut my computer down so I can put my Warzone SSD in.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's like I'm talking to Blue in the general chat of the Academy right now, and he's saying that he got all the camos for the guns in zombies already. Um, and it was going to be Bloodstone, which is the same as zombies like diamond camo. But Black Ops 7 was like, hey, to put in the Bloodstone camos, we have to do a major update, and it forced his PC into an update, slowing everything down, which is why he had to end his stream last night. That is wild. Like, I I cannot believe that they have managed to make it so demanding that your computer has a freakout session over a fucking camel, you know? Like
yeah,
over a gun skin. That's ridiculous.
it's it's disappointing
It
at
is.
this point
Cuz I was a major Black
that
Ops lover. Honestly, I loved the Black Ops
yeah,
games until Black Ops 4 when they took away the aspect of a story mode. I played a shit ton of zombies and that was it. I played maybe a handful of multiplayer matches and I realized, this is just a more futuristic bullshit version of like the Black Ops 2 online that I played a shit ton of. I'd rather just play zombies. And then the Cold War Black Ops ruined zombies for me, and I ended up doing a shit ton of the story mode. I actually played through the story mode twice in a row, back to back, because I enjoyed it so much. But yeah, after that, that was it for me. I didn't play Call of Duty Vanguard, and I haven't played Call of Duty like Black Ops 6 or 7. That's where my Call of Duty days stopped because it just was becoming too ridiculous, you know?
yeah. I Call of Duty is just as time has gone like the new Modern Warfare games I found entertaining. Like the stories were like the story that they told was interesting,
Yeah,
but beyond that, there's been nothing. Like
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm too tired to think coherent thoughts anymore. It's
I
midnight.
I was gonna say I was
Um,
just messaging you that you need to go to bed.
so on that bombshell,
Yep.
we're protected under fair use and copyright laws. Thank you. That was a parody. It's time to end. Thank you all for coming and listening.
And we will see you tomorrow
I
in
love you all
Thursday's
greatly.
Twitch exclusives. All right. Love you. Bye.
Hell yeah. Love you.